Ladies love the skin.
Ow.
Bring it a little bit closer. The good skin, that is. That's why having a proper skincare routine is very important, and you need to feel the Teej. The process is so easy, just 4 steps. You got your daily face wash. That's going to clean your face up nice and right. You got your exfoliator scrub. That's going to open up your pores. You got your AM moisturizer with the SPM 20, which is going to protect you from the sun. You also got your PM moisturizer, which is going to make sure your skin is protected throughout the night. Teej has tons of reviews from dedicated customers across the world. I know I said a lot, but it's okay, because guess what? It comes with an instruction card to explain to you in detail what to do morning and night. And because Teej is a sponsor, they're offering my family 30% off along with a free gift. Just click that link that's in the description and feel the Teej.
Wait. I know what you're going to say. I'm not a man and I don't have a beard, but he does. And so does he. I have 3 points for you that's going to help you grow your beard, and not just grow it, but hydrate it, allow it to come in healthy and shiny, and be able to groom it properly without all the flaking and the itchiness that sometimes comes with grooming the beard. Okay, number 1, be patient and consistent. Number 2, resist the urge to trim and shape your beard for the first 4 to 6 weeks. Number 3, don't hesitate to start now using products.
Just had to take a moment to see my beard looking so good. Man. I'll make sure y'all click that link.
Please tune in to our next video. We're going to give you more value, more information, and don't forget to purchase our products online at assuredmannaturals.com. There you can get 15% off when you use code Lapeef15, and we'll see you in the next video.
What's up? It's your boy Humble Dad. Hey, on the Lapeef Network. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Doing great.
Y'all don't seem too excited, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? hey, I want to welcome everybody here. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time being able to moderate here, but I've been a long member of King Talk, obviously, right? For those that don't know, introduce the people to you. We got the real Precious, Lady Di DTM in the building. Mr. Let Go with all his smiles and everything already going, right? Stacy O. Then we got the real Mike. What is it? M. White. All right. And then we got Andrea. All right. And Mr. Sweeney in the building. All right. We're going to get this party started. I think we got some more people coming, but in the meantime, we got my boy JR in the background. And we're going to get this party started. Hey, for those that don't know, you should check out Assured Man. They have really good hair products, and I've used it before, so make sure you check them out as well. All right. The first topic of the evening. Y'all ready? Let's see if I got it.
You real quick. We getting right into it, huh?
I know, right?
Listen,
And the business, let's go.
hey, listen, this is how I'm just trying to make sure that we get the party started because I know y'all gonna be talking about some real stuff tonight, right? Here we go.
Hey, excuse me, guys. You two married?
Yeah. Why?
How much for your wife?
What?
I got $10,000. How much?
So sorry, no, man.
Come on, look, it's real. Check it. $10,000 one night with your wife.
$10,000. This is some bullshit.
How about 100 grand?
Babe.
Check it out. 100 grand one night with your wife.
No, babe, listen. All right, so
Check it. Make
right,
sure
well-
it's real. 100 grand one night with your wife. Hold it up. Here, look.
I think it's smart. It's smart.
It's a bad business decision not to.
Oh, fuck you guys.
100. Come on. How about I'll bring her back here by 8 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
100 grand.
I'm happy you made that decision. Thanks.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, excuse me, guys. You two married?
Incredible. So we're gonna do it like this, man. Hey, somehow we do it on our show. I'm gonna pick somebody and then you pick who goes next. All right. And we're going to start with the real precious. 100K for one night with your wife, good or bad business decision. What are your thoughts?
I believe it's a bad business decision. I believe it's a bad one. It may seem
That's
good
it?
in that moment. Let me give my answer, man. It may seem good in that moment, but in the long term in the relationship, the woman is always going to be feeling like she can be bought. And it could be for both of them. They married. She at 8:01, she's back with her husband. But at the end of the day, she's never gonna get that. A man can be like, "Oh, it was a great business decision, and we got $100,000 now." But she's never going to feel comfortable in a relationship after her husband makes a business decision like that. Marcus, you're next.
All right. I think it's a terrible decision. Like, he just became a pimp at that moment. He literally put his wife on the grocery store track and sold her for a track hawk. He sold her for a Corvette. He sold her for not even a painting. I mean, people. I mean, all money ain't good money. You feel me? Like, you can't just you can't find what you have with your wife all the time, because I'm sure you probably met a whole lot of women and you chose to marry her. So she's not easily replaceable. And then something as low as 100,000 is crazy. It's no amount, but 100,000 shouldn't make you switch up and just ruin your whole life. Then people might have had kids and all type of stuff. So Daddy, why we got separate houses for Christmas this year? Well, I got 100K. You ain't even got no house. You stand in a motel now. That 100K ain't last that long. That was a stupid ass decision. I can't go. That's my thoughts. I just can't go.
All right, who you got going next, bro?
Kale Trev Smooth.
So, all right, thanks, Marcus. Appreciate you. So, who was that in the video? Was that Adam 22? Like, he just putting his wife out there like that? Like, come on. Like, that just speaks to their value system, because it didn't seem like she needed too much coercing to go ahead and do that. So it speaks volumes for her and him. It just seems crazy, but it doesn't even seem like it would happen in real life. But then when you watch people like Adam 22 and people like that who will literally sell their wife's soul just for $1, and it's crazy because it seems like you have no soul at all when you feel like you can just go out there and sleep with the random person. You don't know if this guy has STDs. You don't know if that guy is really going to kidnap you, right? Just throw you in a basement somewhere. You don't know what's going on with that situation. So for you to agree to that just on the fly with someone who's completely unfamiliar just because they wave some dollars in your face is crazy. And $100,000, you can't really put an amount on that, right? I don't care if somebody would have told me $1 billion. You can't quantify your wife. That's just period. So that means you can't truly love her, and she can't truly love him, or she would never even participate in something like that. So it just shows today how horrible society is and what they will do. Between social media clout, people don't care anymore. And I wish it wasn't like that, but that's what we are today. And there are literally people really that just because they're thinking of what they're going to do with that $100,000. They are so desperate for that money that they will go to any length to get it. And people will put their children up. There's no limit to what they would do. Once you put money before everything, you don't care. And we know that happens. We know there are some people who put their children up, and they call it survival. So it's a pitiful thing. I'm so happy that I am not someone who would do that ever, but yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I'm almost speechless, even though I just said a lot. Just watching it, I'm flabbergasted because it just shows how horrible people can be today. And I'll give it to Stacey O.
It's pretty funny. I recently had this conversation with somebody, and they were like,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that happened to you. Okay.
Right? I'm like, And they were like, oh, well, what if it's like Oprah or something like that? As if I'm like supposed to trust her a little bit more or something like that. But I definitely I don't think it's okay. And then it was just like, I don't know, I guess I was looking at it like, maybe, I don't know, is it something, maybe white people are doing? Because she was like real okay with it. I don't want to make a generalization, but she was really okay with like whatever that man, her partner, was okay with, she was gonna do. And I mean, I would just, if I were to have to attach it, like I wouldn't want to, just morally, I wouldn't do it for the money. But if my back were against the wall and it was like Michael B. Jordan, and he just pressured me into doing it, I still would.
You say if your back was against the wall, I bet it would be at the end of that.
I mean, if they switched up, because I mean, that's just a random, there's a random white guy. I don't know. It's just like, I would really be pissed off with my partner. Like, are you serious? Like, you invest 100K in me and I'm gonna flip that. Like, I don't need it, but I'll flip that.
So Michael B. Jordan gave y'all the money, you would go though?
No, but if my back were against the wall and my
that was a long no. That struggled out.
So your answer is really yes.
If a decision had to be made, like, no, I would fight to try to do what's right. But yeah. I mean,
you guys know, how did y'all get to that conversation? You said it just recently happened.
Yeah.
How did y'all come to that conversation?
That's
we
the crazy part.
was just like being sarcastic, like, me and my partner, he was just like, well, what if it was Oprah? And I'm like, why would you, I guess it's like you try to find someone that's older than you or like unattractive, like, oh yeah, emotionally, but I'm taking one for the team.
So you would let him smash for 100,000?
No, I
smash another woman. He can't smash another woman for 100,000.
No, sir.
Why? That's not fair.
Well,
he has to come
different.
back home with the spiritual residue of
but y'all got 100,000 though.
No. When you taste
we can sell ourselves. We just don't want y'all to sell
those
yourselves.
things, you're not craving for it. And so that makes me wonder, have they tasted 100,000 before? I mean, or have they been exposed to those type of funds, which I'm probably surprised they're not. But
pick. You got to pick.
All right, but who you got going next?
I am going to pass it over to Sweeney.
In Adam 22's defense, they are both corn stars. So, like, she's been doing this. And I will say that they're making a ton of money from him doing this, because let's keep it real. She was going to do it whether he gave her permission or not, because she's already a corn star. So this is him just getting in front of it and saying, hey, yeah, who wants to sleep with my wife? Because she was going to get slept with anyway. So there's that. But no, I don't see why any man would want to sell his wife. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's a bad bet. I couldn't do it. I don't see. Nah. There's no way I would do that to my wife. And she got to come home and look at me and be like, nigga, you sold me out. Like, now she's looking at me like, you sold me.
That part.
Regardless of how much money it was. See, it'll be different. Like, if dude, like, well, no, it wouldn't be different at all. Because I feel some type of way if they asked her, like, 100K one night with you, are you going? And then she says, yeah, I'm going. We'd be fucked up off of that. So why would you purposely put your wife out there and be like, yeah, go ahead and make that money for me?
Yeah.
So no, that's done deal for me, man. I couldn't do it. Hell no. Any man that does do it, I will say this: that dude right there, any dude that would sell his wife for 100K, she was already she wasn't he didn't value her to begin with.
Oh wow.
He was already he didn't really care for her to begin with if he can do that. So nah. And I'm say that I don't think most men would do that.
Yeah.
He was looking at them dudes like, ooh. What's real?
What about girlfriend?
He lifted it up.
Would that been different?
You said, what about a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Again, I would say it's the same thing. If you can hold your girlfriend out, then she wasn't your girlfriend to begin with.
But you still got $100 grand though.
I mean, yeah, but you still hold her out. So she wasn't your girlfriend to begin. Come on, man. You trying to give people a goddamn complex out here?
Hey, what is he over there doing? Like, what the hell is he doing?
I don't know what Marcus got going on
Is
over
he getting electrocuted in real on live? God damn. Like, what the hell is
I need the honey K to pay the light bill. I need the honey K to pay the light bill. Since I ain't sell, I gotta figure it out.
I thought he was trying to signal something, an emergency or something.
Hi, you finished, Sweeney? Who you got going next?
Welcome back, Kayla. I'm going to you.
What up, Kayla?
What's going on? How's everyone tonight?
Hey, Kayla.
Good.
Good. Okay. I was waiting for responses.
Super Gucci. No,
I was
super
waiting
Gucci.
for
Welcome
responses.
back.
Thanks for all my supporters in the chat. How y'all doing? Okay. I think that we're currently on our high horses, and that's cute and all. However, most people live check to check. Most people have never experienced 100K. And y'all sitting up here acting like y'all don't know what people would do for some money. Your own family would sell you out right now for some money. And that's what you sitting up here acting like you don't know. I don't get that. That's very immature. It's immature. It really is. It really is. So these people needed that money. If this is even real, this is looking like a skit to me. It's looking fake to me. As we know, Adam is a porn star, so is his girlfriend. So it could be real, but they're porn stars. This is their lifestyle. So I don't know why it would be shocking. They literally sleep. They have interviews with Justin Lee where they talk about how they sleep with every guest that comes on their show. Like, they are hoes. This is their life. So nothing of this surprises me. But yeah, I think y'all are being like very immature about what people will do for some money. And maybe because people haven't had that access to that money, that's why you don't know. But I promise you, if they had it and they had to choose it over you, they're going to choose it. And you're going to be upset. You're going to be all shocked and stuff. But I'm telling you right now, don't do that.
I'll say this. I can only speak for myself in that standpoint. My ego couldn't take that.
I understand. I understand in the situation, but most people don't know what they would do in that situation because they've never been in it. They've never had $100 grand in cash or whatever in their account immediately. They've never had that access. So until you are in that direct position, all it is speculation, all it is, you know what I'm saying? So many people would say, oh, if I met some famous person or if I met an idol, I would do this. And then when they get with them, they act they fan out. You know what I mean? They act a fool. So, I mean, listen, people have done a lot more for less. If you really look at it, this is the lifestyle that they're a part of. They're in porn. So to me, hey, it's up their alleyway. And I hope that I just pray for all parties involved that
was that the Adam
no
guy
one gets hurt.
Was that the Adam guy?
Joking. That wasn't Adam. That was not Adam 22. I was just joking.
That was just a random
right. Wife. That wasn't Adam 22. That was some.
No.
No, I was just joking. Yeah, that was some random cats.
Well, in that case, it doesn't really change much that I've said other than the fact that they really needed the money. Poverty makes people desperate, and desperate people do desperate things. And we've seen, like I said, people do a lot less, or we've seen people do a lot more for less. So I think that's all I got on that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of women out there on host roll right now.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of men too. There's a lot of people scamming. It's a lot of people stealing from your grandma. It's a lot of people out here doing a bunch of bullshit for money. So I don't know why we would be shocked by this. But yeah, so let's go to Andrea.
Hey, Kayla.
Hey, baby girl. How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. Yes, I am on location, honey. I am not home, so I'm making the best that I can. But how you doing, girl?
Good. So I wanted to talk like I wanted to touch on this topic a little bit because I'm kind of definitely like aligned with Kayla in some sense. I honestly feel like, first of all, I feel like this video is fake. I don't feel like it's real. And also, I feel like we're just stuck in this taboo society where sex work isn't a thing, and sex work is very much a thing. And it's an industry that, you know, if you're logging on to certain websites or watching certain videos, you're supporting. So I think that is kind of ironic how, unless everyone on this panel is abstinent or celibate and waiting till marriage, how all of a sudden we have these high morals when it has some type of monetary gain in front of you. I think that it's really, I think it's interesting. And yeah, I think that I'm going to land my plane there.
So the question is, though, do you think it's a good or bad decision, business decision?
I don't think it's real. I don't think this video is real. So I can't really speak to if it's a good or bad decision.
If it was real, would it be a good or bad
decision? Yeah, we're just saying if it was real. I think everybody kind of got that it was like a skit, but we just, you know, just because the scenario, because it really happens.
Wait, but business decision, we're talking bottom line, right? So if they're in the red, it's a good business decision.
Yeah, but if you're in the red,
y'all didn't say morally, y'all didn't say for the sake of the relationship, y'all didn't say for the sake of their kids, y'all said a business decision, and business is about revenue, business is about ROI. So they in the red, and this put them back in the black. Hey,
well, I mean,
ROI means it's not a good business decision because the person is the actual asset. That's their ROI. So if you got to go back to be with that person after you get the money, that's a terrible business decision, business-wise, because the other person is a part of the business decision. So that's a terrible ROI.
Let me also jump in with you, Mr. Let Go, because when you're talking about the return on investment. So with that return on investment, when she returned back to you, that investment is going to be flawed. It will become a depreciating asset with as long as that relationship is going on, because she always going to view you away from that point forward. My question to Kayla, though, is I know you said it was immature to think that way, right? So I'm assuming that you're thinking about this from a mature mind. Okay. So how much and how many times would you sell with somebody of a mature mind sell themselves for that 100K? Would it be that one time? Would they continue to do it?
No, a mature mind would find something else to sell. We all sell something every day. So a mature mind would just find something else to sell. You sell your time, you sell your body, you sell your energy in other ways. So a mature mind would just find something else to sell.
No, I agree. However, you said that we're immature for not selling our wives. So I'm asking you, how many times would we sell? Would you think a mature man would continue to sell his wife?
Yeah. So to clarify, I'm not saying you're immature for not selling your wife. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the perspective to say that it's shocking or it's so immoral that somebody would do something like this is immature, because people do stuff like this every day for less, is what I was saying.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Andrea back. I may have said it wrong. I apologize, but you didn't get to finish your statement. So if you can go ahead and finish what you was about to say.
No, that was pretty much it. But I wanted to speak to Marcus' question about whether or not that's a mature decision. I think that I don't know if you guys like recognize this or not, but I mean, for people who are in the sex working industry, that is their mature decision. They've made a decision as an adult. And a lot of the times people in that industry are out earning a lot of regular everyday people. So when we're asking that question, I think it really depends on who you ask. I feel like when it comes to these type of topics, right and wrong is subjective, because for you, I mean, going to work and working an 8-hour shift and being paid, I don't know. I don't know what the average is every hour or, every year. But for people in the sex working industry that are actually making enough to support their families and support their dreams or whatever it is that they're striving for, I don't think it makes them immature because they decided to that they valued a dollar differently and decided they wanted to earn it a different way.
Okay, to respond to that, I never said anyone was immature or mature. I was responding to Kayla saying that it's immature to not sell your wife and to not understand what is going on in people's financial brackets and the decisions they make.
That's
So
not what I said.
my thought, you didn't say that?
No,
Can
I
I
said
go
the
next, y'all?
perspective, the
Damn, I'm still
perspective to
waiting.
be
Y'all
shocked.
arguing back and forth. Can I go
Oh,
next? Shit.
For sure, we'll get back to it. Mr. Lego. You know we're gonna get to you, bro. You know what I'm saying, Andrea? Who you got going next? Is it Mr. Lego?
Yeah, let Mr. Let Go have his moment.
Is
Yeah,
that what you want, Andrea?
yeah. Well, it's my decision technically.
This
So
is
It
true,
is.
Andre.
Yeah.
This is true, Andre, girl. Do your
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, technically my decision. But so yeah, just to what you said, Marcus. Yeah, you actually did ask. You said so something about does it make a person mature? How many times does it have to sell themselves to be mature? And then the whole topic of choosing a different career path or whatever would be the more mature thing. So it was just I just think that the mature and immature kind of a thing is just kind of like I think it's like irrelevant because no one can really like measure maturity when it comes to a career path and a career choice where people are out earning you. But yeah, so if you wanted to respond, I was gonna pass it to you, Marcus, but since everyone wants to force me to give it to Let Go, I mean, I guess you guys can flip a coin.
No, nobody didn't force you, sweetheart.
Just
You
pick
get to
somebody,
choose.
Andrea.
So you can choose whoever you want to, for sure.
Okay. Marcus, did you have anything that you want to say?
yeah, I think it must have been a miscommunication because what I heard, and I never made the argument of mature, immature. I was asking a question based off of what I interpreted as mature, based on the line of what she said. So my question was, when does it stop being making a mature decision and being detrimental to the relationship if you feel it's okay to do that? That was my initial question. I just didn't get to it.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay, Mr. Let Go, I guess you can go.
Okay, first of all, sex workers aren't making no damn money. That's the reason why they are sex workers. That's the first thing. They're selling their ass because they can't make money in conventional ways. So y'all love to say whatever it is that y'all women are doing, y'all are always making the most money. The shit is crazy. So I don't know why y'all do that, but it's confirmation bias and
Men are
all
sex.
kinds of bias. But y'all asses ain't making no money. That's why y'all sell your asses because y'all can't make money somewhere else. So when it comes to this situation, the whole situation, of course, is dumb because one, if me and my wife are, I'm gonna say wife and girlfriend in just two scenarios in one. If I'm walking out and me and my girlfriend or wife are, we kind of struggling or whatever, and a white dude walks up and offers a suitcase full of money. One, he's probably a damn trafficker and he's about to traffic my wife. That's some crazy shit because who the hell run around paying for women in the middle of, well, in front of a goddamn grocery store, like in wide open space? And who the hell walks up with a briefcase full of money? What is this, 1984 or something? Like, when you just cash at me? So that's another thing. Like, that's some weird shit. All right, send the funds and we'll figure what is this suitcase, right? I ain't finna get robbed. You finna sit here and take my wife, and then I'm walking to the damn car like an idiot with $100,000 in a briefcase just so I get robbed by the time I get in my car. That's the second thing. And then do I gotta pay taxes on this money? Like, taxes are like 30%. I'm not selling my wife for $70,000. Like, what the hell? Because that's some crazy shit. Like, I don't even get to keep all the damn money. And do I got to give her half? So now it's half, and then it's after taxes. So now we sitting there looking at what 40,000, 20, 45. No, because I'm sure when she comes back, she's gonna be like, oh, where's my half? No, hell no. So that's crazy. And then y'all don't realize, well, some people don't realize how fast less than, because it's not even going to be $100,000 because something's going to go wrong, taxes or something. $100,000 goes by real fast. And I would say within 3 months, you ain't going to have $100,000 no more because you're going to pay this bill. Because if you are already broke and y'all considering taking this money, most likely there are some bills that you have to pay or have yet to pay, or you late on some shit. So you're gonna have to take some of the money and pay off the shit. Next thing you know, you look up, you ain't got the money no more because you had to pay all this stuff that you had to catch up on. So no, it makes no actual sense whether she's my girlfriend or my wife. But if she was my girlfriend, I would just simply let her go and I would just be gone by the time she comes back, because I'm not splitting nothing with her ass. Like, because if her little silly ass want to just go over there like, oh, okay, I'll go. I'm like, oh, so that's what we doing. Okay, bye. I'll take the money, because she was so excited. I'm gonna sit there and just take a second and observe my girl, not wife, my girl, and be like, oh, so you well, you know, we got to do this. Oh, so you with this then? I'm out. Take her. And you know, anything else I can sell around here? You know, like you want my car? Like, if you giving out $100,000 for my wife or my girl, what would you pay for my car? Like, you overpaying for stuff, because I ain't pay $100,000 for her. So let me see what else I can get, because this woman ain't never gonna see me again. So no, that's some crazy shit. But yeah.
So you would let them take her, and then you would take the money, and then you would not give her some of it and disappear. And you supposed to be what in this situation?
Huh? No.
Kayla, you might have to slow that down.
No, I'm just saying, like, what are you bragging on? You're gonna let them take her. And you're gonna take the money, and then you're gonna brag on not giving it some of it to her, the money that you wouldn't even have if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna leave her, and you're supposed to be better than her somehow in this situation.
I didn't say I was better than her. I'm just gonna go back to my hood days. If you break this down, this is an illegal.
If that's how you
Kayla, stop for a second. Kayla, calm down. Calm down. Think about this. This is soliciting prostitution.
It don't matter.
Hold on.
If you was against it,
Kayla,
you would
can I
walk away
talk,
from the
Kayla?
whole situation. You just said you're gonna take the money
Kayla,
and not give her half.
Kayla, can I have my
turn?
turn?
Hold on, Kayla. Let's hear what you got to say
Go
real
ahead.
quick, and
Put
then
the mic down.
I promise I'll come right
Put the
back
mic
to
on the
you.
table.
Go ahead.
You gotta let him dig his grave first.
Okay. So this
shovel it.
This is illegal in itself, right? So you have no recourse. You can't make me do nothing, because you just solicited yourself for prostitution. So you better not come with some police or with some legal stuff trying to get the money from me, because I'm gonna say I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You ain't gonna have me wrapped up in your little prostitution ring. I don't know what you've been doing. This whole thing was a setup. So I would say I'm a victim, and the money was to help me deal with my victimhood of losing my wife.
How do we get here?
Here we go.
We're doing
We're doing them all. This is getting bad. Here we go.
We're gonna go Kayla, then we're gonna come to you, bro. Okay, Kayla.
I'm a victim.
On you, then we gonna go Sweeney, and then whoever else want to respond.
Oh, I'm good. I just had to ask.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Kayla, what did you want to say?
No, he a victim now.
This is what he said.
I'm a victim.
He took the money, he ran off of her, he didn't give her half. He told her, he threatened her, saying, if you call the police on me, I'm gonna rat you out, because this is illegal anyway. Taking the money is illegal.
Right.
Then you a victim.
No, I can take the money because he's not having sex with me. So you gotta think about that. He can't.
Solicitation is the crime that he's the victim of.
Right. I did not solicit.
taking the money
I did not
makes
solicit
him
my body.
a criminal.
I can take the money.
No. The guy was the solicitor. He was the solicitee.
The man and the woman, they're the ones who going to go to jail if they mess with me.
Either way, it's part of the transaction, so it's illegal. You're a part of it. You're also a criminal.
I'm a victim. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he a victim. Here we go.
What are we talking about?
I want you, Kayla, I want you to think about this. I'm walking out of the grocery store with my lady, right? And some white man walks up and hands me some money. I'm scared. So I'm going to take the money because I'm afraid that if I don't take the money, he's going to shoot me or something. He looked like the feds. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to be like, Your Honor, I just took the money because I don't know what's going on. I don't trust white people. So I just went on by my
You don't
day.
trust white people, but you take their money.
This nigga right here, bro.
Nah, it was under duress. I saw the gun, Mr. Lego.
Thank you, Marcus. I would have been under
He was
duress.
under duress. I saw the gun.
You was
I saw the
under
gun.
duress. You a victim.
That's
I was
Here we go.
fearful
Yes,
of my
sir.
life.
Hey, we gonna get Lady Di in here.
I was fearful of my life.
It sounds like it. Hey,
That
Lady Di.
sound like some bullshit if I ain't never heard it.
Some of the biggest bullshit I ever heard.
All right, cool. Lady Di, it's on you. What you got?
Well, can y'all hear me? Okay. So, I mean, I think that anybody that takes money in this type of way, it just shows how much money they don't have. Kind of, I think that's what Kayla was saying. That's my thoughts. Like, they have no money. It don't matter if it was $100K or $5,000. They're going to take any type of money that's more than what they have. So it really doesn't matter on the amount. It just shows how broke they are. Not to shade anyone about not having $100K. I'm just saying, you taking money for that, meaning that you could lose your wife, lose your family. You know, you could lose a lot by doing stuff like that because there's no morals. There's no, honor in your marriage. So you definitely will be divorced soon. I think that it's pathetic in a way to think that that's okay. It's immature to me in the sense of you have a wife, right? So you both have two incomes. So if you take the money and your wife leaves you, now it's just your income and your $100K that you're going to spend on bullshit. So it's kind of like, I don't see the business deal in that because you're taking the money that you're going to lose because you don't know how to spend money. Obviously, that's why you want it, right? You're not making good decisions. So you're going to lose a second income in your house by doing that deal. So it's really not a win in no situation. I think that people just need to get their money up, learn how to invest, and learn how to make their change move, multiply it a few times. There's many ways you could do that, especially today. So it just shows that people they're immature. That's like a child. Children pick games over finishing their homework, knowing that if they finish their homework, right, there's, things that you could gain from that later on overall. Or people who, let's say, play basketball, they're really good at what they do, but they don't practice. They can't get to where they want to go. They're choosing, I want to go hang with my girlfriend. No, go play that basketball because you're good at what you're doing. Build your talent up, get your money up so you can have a girlfriend to, provide for your family. So it shows that adults are just big ass kids. That's how I look at it. And also, people are mad when you cheat. But then now it's kind of like you could cheat, but you got to get paid for it. Now it's okay because people cheat all the time and people are getting in fights, killing over it. But throw dollars at them. Now we can make it okay now. So I think that all of that stuff is kind of weird. People are weird. The society today is kind of weird. I think, we should focus on building up friendship, then building up, being with somebody, staying committed, working on that marriage, getting them kids and living that life and kind of, keep doing that throughout the generations. So that's all I got.
So
I agree with Lady Di. Y'all weird.
Who do you think would be more at fault or to blame? The individual that received the money, Mr. Let Go, or his wife that decided to go?
The wife, because if she said no, then it wouldn't happen.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's on the woman. So I would have been justified at taking the money and leaving, right, Lady Di? I'm the victim here.
That whole story was crazy. But if you talking about taking money and not paying somebody, I just believe everybody got to sign a contract. Like, don't be
not paying somebody. Ain't nobody said she's gonna get some of the money.
Agree with that.
No deal.
He said, "I will give you 100,000 for your wife." Ain't nobody said they was gonna give the wife something. He said, "I'm gonna give you 100,000 for your wife. This is my money." What are you talking about? Why she gotta get some money?
Okay,
see, there was
just have it in writing, and everything should be fine.
Yeah, yeah, I'm real big.
So you don't even want to pay the talent nothing?
No.
Damn.
Get out my face.
That's crazy.
So
if he got $100,000, he got another $100,000. Kayla, stay with him.
Who?
This, this was my initial
What
question.
are you talking about? And why?
If he got enough money to just hand me $100,000 in a briefcase, I'm sure he got another briefcase. He got a checking account. He got some money. Get her some more money. And
Maybe
I'll
that's
just go
why
on
she
with
felt like shit. Let me go.
Huh?
Maybe that's why she felt like shit. Maybe I should go be with him.
That's how I feel. Bye.
He got the bag and my nigga don't. So hey.
Yeah, hold on, Mike. Hey, Trev, you wanted to say something?
I did. I just wanted to make sure everybody went first, but I wanted to kind of address the point that Kayla made earlier and Andrea co-signed, because they think it's different. Like maybe they feel like we're judging them because of them being in the sex work and everything else. And I mean, that's not really it, right? So I understand.
I'm sorry, what?
That.
Hold on, what?
You were saying that it was
No.
Re-
No. Be clear. That last part. What was that? Them being involved in what? What was that?
The sex work.
Right. And who's involved in
sex workers?
Sex work? Who?
The people that were in the video.
Okay. Just clarify.
Yeah, everybody else got it. That's cool. Check it. So what I was saying is that,
like you said, them two was in the sex work. That's what it sounded like. But I got you.
no disrespect. I wasn't.
He cleared it up. It's okay. He cleared it up.
No, I said I was going at the point that you said, and Andrea co-signed. That's what I said. So either way, all I'm saying is that it's not that we're judging them and we're on a high horse, right? Because I understand that sex workers have a place in society, right? And that's okay. And anybody who knows me, I've interviewed a couple dozen sex workers. I don't have any judgment, any disdain, or nothing. The only problem that I have is you can't be no wife of mine. That's different. It doesn't make sense for you to go ahead and get married to somebody if that's the type of lifestyle that you wanted to do. If I was going to be a D-boy, I wouldn't get married because I know it's inherently dangerous and I would be putting other people at risks. And that's the problem with it. You can't be a wife. You can't truly be a wife and then be a sex worker at the same time. In my opinion, you can't sell your kitty and then think that you're going to come back to me. It's never going to happen like that. And most men would agree with that. You can't do that. That's the problem we have with it. We don't care that you want to do sex work. You just can't be my wife and then do sex work. Because there's certain things that women would not tolerate men to do either if they were married. And that's just one thing that most masculine men will never tolerate. That's just what it is.
It depends on the type of marriage because there's people who are. I'm sorry.
Let me just say something real quick. I think that it's interesting that we think that sex work only involves soliciting and having like prostitution. There's so many different aspects to sex work. You could be a phone operator. You could be someone who uploads feet pictures on different apps like Feet Finder. I mean, there's so many different avenues. I mean, you could. For you guys to just automatically, it's just kind of funny and it just kind of shows the we keep throwing this word maturity and immaturity around, but it just speaks to the lack of research you guys have done on what the actual sex work industry is. Also, I think that if two people decide that they're comfortable with, possibly being a part of the fetish community or something like that, that we have some type of a right or position to throw our approval around on people when our approval essentially doesn't really matter when it comes to them making the best decision for their household. So I don't know, but I think you guys need to dig a little deeper into what sex work actually entails because it's not just all selling vagina.
Okay, well, again, hold on. My bad.
Hold on, Trey. Lady Di was about to say something, and then when she finishes, you can come back for sure.
I got you.
I was gonna say to Trev's move that there's different type of marriages. There's marriages where they're have a swinger lifestyle, so they're already like having sex with multiple people for free. So for people who choose to kind of sell it in that way, it depends on their house. If they both agree with it, then it is what it is. I don't think that's the right type of marriage to have. I don't think there's longevity in that. But at the end of the day, people are choosing to do what they want to do. And as long as that's their house, then that's fine. That's how I look at it.
Okay, on you, Trev, and then we
All
gonna
right.
switch.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So Andre, I understand that. I know every aspect of it, right? Again, I've interviewed a couple dozen. I've studied it, and I appreciate it for what it is, and I have no judgment against it. I'm just simply saying that it's no good for me as a man, and most masculine men are going to have a problem with that. And Lady Di, I understand that there are some people who are cucks. I get it. Guess what? I'm not. And I'm not sharing my wife with anyone. I'm very stingy with my wife's kitty. It is what it is. That's how I feel about it. That's how I've always felt about it. Men are territorial. If you're a masculine man, you're not dealing with that. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And you're going to be able to find somebody who's going to deal with that. But are you going to really feel secure with that guy? Probably not. Because he's going to be a chump. Because it doesn't come both ways. He's either a chump or he's a masculine man. You're not going to find nobody you are actually safe and secure with that you really love, admire, and respect, and then go ahead and want to deal with somebody else in any aspect. And I don't care if it's foot pictures. I don't care if you're taking pictures of your ears. Listen, there ain't nobody else supposed to be looking at you the way I'm looking at you sexually, period. That's just how I feel about it. If you're my wife, that's what I'm saying.
And there's no protection in that either, because even though, you know, you're selling it, they could tell you to do something that you don't want to do sexually. And if you want that money, you're going to go ahead and do it. But it's something that you're uncomfortable with. So there's no protection. Your man can't protect you any type of sexual act, especially if it's paid for.
All right, man, that's good. Hey, I give you 30 seconds, Andre. Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys are hearing what I'm actually saying. It's a way to be involved in the sex work industry without being physically in front of a person and without engaging in sexual acts with a person. So, for example, like we're talking about, like, you know, oh, I used to be a part of the sex work industry, and for me, I was a part of the fetish industry. And what I would do is I would take pictures of my feet and change my nail polish and possibly have like an Amazon wish list for toe rings and upload pictures of my feet on Instagram or Feet Finder or even OnlyFans. And what people will find is that I didn't have to take pictures of my body. I mean, people just like my feet. And so, I mean, I think that we have like this one track mind as to what sex work is, and it's very much broad. And if you do it responsibly, and if you're doing it with parties that you can trust, it can be a very lucrative business.
Andrea, you just got to $100,000.
Mr. Lego, we gonna do this. We're gonna transition, and it's probably gonna come up again, right? It's probably gonna come up again for sure, because everybody kind of laid down the thought process on this particular subject, right? So I don't want to dig too much deeper into it, but I think it's going to come back based on what we talked about. I'm going to get these super chats, and then we're going to transition. Let's see. A Warrior Life Real, $1.99. Appreciate that, homie. And then here is a Warrior's Life Real, again, for $19.99. I guess they didn't get the other one. I mean, y'all can read that, huh? I just wanted to, like, it's choppy, okay? Somebody's beautiful, man. That's crazy. And also, where it's Paris, man. Listen, I don't know what's going on in these streets. Y'all be bugging out here, bro.
Like I said, I just want to say shit.
Say what? Hold on. Say what? Hold on, real quick. Let me finish this. King Spark 57.99. Mr. Lego is so smart. He's stupid. Shaking my head. And then you have I know I mispronounced this. Inge Winaga. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Ikene.
Say again.
That's Ikene.
Ikene. Okay, bet. Is Kayla back? Then got little emojis and things of that nature. All right, man. Hey, that was a good first rounder, man. I didn't think that y'all was gonna be lasting that long on there, but we have some very opinionated individuals, and everybody has their perspective. So that's the point of the show, right? So everybody doing good? No, y'all not. Okay, we're going to the next one, right? This one is talking about chasing a taken man.
%50 of women have admitted to trying to take another woman's man.
What's the number of the success of that 50%?
It is 1/3 are successful.
Damn, that's crazy.
1/3 of these attempts are success.
Yeah.
A woman tries to take somebody's man.
Yeah.
They win.
Yeah, and these are not just women out on the town that you just see by themselves. These are your friends. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the reason why that is because women like men that other women like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And women are very social creatures.
Right.
They hang out in social groups that match their mindset.
Right.
I typically do my own research when it comes to studies and stuff like that, but in this case, who cares? The only thing I cared to address was the ending when he said, and that's because women like what other women like. No, they don't. No, they don't. Not when it comes to a man. Actually, if I like her, I'm less inclined to even be around her, man. If I like her, that makes me less attracted to him by far because I like her. So I will say the reason as to why you find that women get braggadocious or even attempt to take another woman's man is because we don't like nothing hard. If you already done domesticated him, he already is in a routine to know how to handle a home. He already know how to provide. I can watch and see what he does for you. And I see where you slip up to make him unhappy. I already did the homework. You help me to do the easy part, especially if he's unhappy. He already know how to fall into place because more times often than not, men are disciplined to routine. They are very codependent when they already have a wife or a girlfriend or they have children, everybody in the household. All they do is just fall in line, which is why it's so easy to see a man leave one situation and go get into another situation because he already knows the routine. All he did was just replace one of the players. That is why women go after married men. That is why women go after taking men altogether. He's already acclimated to the role. Whereas dating a man who has options, it's hell. Who wants to do that? Yours already prepped, boo.
Oh my gosh, Paris. No.
I want to start with Stacey O, and then you let us know who you got next. On you.
Oh my gosh. No. I totally don't agree with that. I feel like there are some women who are like predators like that, who target men who are in relationships like that, but that's a big no for me. I mean, while she was talking, just knowing like one day, I'm gonna be getting married, like I'm already offended. Like, dang, like you're already like plotting on people's relationships. I mean, marriages go through things, right? So, I mean, for her to say she's doing like the homework and studying the issues, the downfalls. I used to have this, just my eyes were just like I was wearing like rose colored glasses before, but I'm really walking into the knowing that people are just really strategic. And just to hear the confidence and the thought process behind trying to take somebody else's man, and to chase it. I mean, I've seen it for years, but I'm just like, no, well, maybe, but it's a sad thing to see, especially in the Black community. We want to have some representation. It is impactful. And this is just a sensitive topic because I just, it's discouraging, it's disheartening.
Who you got going next? Thank you for your thoughts.
I'm gonna throw it over to Andrea.
So I didn't really understand the video that much. Just didn't really get it. I just didn't get the video. So maybe.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on a woman chasing a taken man?
I don't know. I don't I guess it's just kind of like, can somebody help me out here?
You want to phone a friend? I got you.
No.
What do you mean? She can give it to me. I thought she got to select.
She has a thought.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
No,
Kayla, you know she has a thought on it.
No,
So,
I feel like the video, I had to get context of the video, and I feel like the video, like.
Well, I'm transitioning off the video, right? And I'm gonna ask you specifically, What are
Okay.
your thoughts on women that chase a taken man?
I wouldn't say it's the best idea. I feel like I I just don't know. I don't know why they would want to take a man from his family. I mean, I don't really know how to answer this question that much because I don't know. I don't think men are that like I just don't get it. I don't know.
You don't think men are what? Finish that
Right.
thought.
What that got to do with it?
Who wants you guys in the first place? Like,
There we go.
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't
Go. Here we go. I already knew it was coming.
I'm trying not to be mean, but it's
Hey, no, just say your thought.
Say what you got to say. What's on your mind?
it's like I don't think it's fair for all that stress. I mean, I guess you guys can be nice to have sometimes, but I mean, I don't think that you can take someone who doesn't want to be kept or want to be there in the first place. I mean, these men are for everybody. Why are we really actually cuffing them in the first place and not understanding that they're going to roam around like dogs anyway?
Not according to the data he just gave. He said over 50% of women have admitted to trying to take a taken man, and they had a 33% success rate. I'm just messing with you. Andrea. Chill.
I don't even think it's worth the headache because you guys just do this anyways. You just do this. This is your thing. That's what you do. So no one can really take you because you're already roaming around anyway.
But we're not.
Okay.
But we're not.
Who you got going next? I like that energy. So who you got going next to follow up from that?
Okay, Kayla, you could go next. I'm sorry.
Girl, you got me over here cracking up because it's just so true. Most of them are in the streets. Listen, I don't know what y'all are disagreeing with. And if your feelings are hurt, then good morning, welcome. Because it don't matter if you marry, not marry, women want your man. Women will be trying to get with your man. You need to understand that throughout the course of your marriage, women will be trying to get with your man. Don't have your feelings hurt. It's not a secret. I agree with some of the stuff she said. Some of the stuff took me aback because when she said, oh no, women don't want your man, that's how she started off, right? And I was like, what? That doesn't make sense because I know women personally that are young and ambitious and making attempts to steal people's men at this very moment, right? But for her to say they're not doing that doesn't make any sense. But then she kind of changed the conversation and she said that something I agreed with men that are in relationship do know how to be in relationship. So that is something that attracts women to men that are taken. They see how you treat her and they're like, I see that you have the capacity to do that. Like she said, men with options that are outside in the streets, we're not able to see that you have that capacity. You disrespect everybody, right? But men that are married at least respect this one girl, right? Or at least respect this one lady. And women want that. So ultimately, you have to know that women are trying to get with your man. They're always going to try that. And the 33% success rate makes plenty of sense. I know multiple men that have broken up with their girlfriends for other girls, left their wives and remarried someone else. It happens every day. So don't get in a cloud and think it can't happen to you. Make sure that you're on your P's and Q's of whatever it is and like maintaining your relationship. Women definitely, and I think sometimes men don't even realize that sometimes women only want you because they see the way that you treat your current girl. Like if you were single and just doing you, they probably wouldn't even want you. But they see how you treat her and that makes you more attracted to them. And so they do come after your man. It happens. So, it's sad. And I don't know what she was talking about at the end because a man that's taken, girl, why? Why are you doing that? I'm very much against it. I think it's disgusting to go after a guy that's already has a girlfriend or a wife. You are pathetic. You're pathetic. You're garbage, really. And you deserve to be in the dirt where you belong and dragged along, right? But that doesn't change the fact that I know that they still gonna keep going. They still gonna keep trying. So you know, you have to just you have to know these things that exist. It may not feel good, it may not sound good, but you have to know that these things exist and prepare yourself for it for sure.
What is there ever a time where men are aware that this is happening, and do they, like, what part do they play in it? Like,
They are aware. They, like, honestly, I have multiple male friends, and we've
Mm-hmm.
gone through some of their phones. These girls are throwing their vaginas at these men. These girls are paying for shit, doing shit, showing up places. Can I do, like, what can I do? They're trying to find any hole, any gap. They really are. I swear to you. And these men will disrespect them and be like, I got a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. I can't give you all of that. And they'll be like, okay. And 2 days later, come back, hey, baby, blah, blah, blah. You want to get together on Sunday? Like, don't play yourself thinking that that's not what's happening, because it's happening. I'm just telling you, they're throwing themselves at them. So it does take a real committed man, especially if he's attractive, has some coins. It really takes a certain level of self-control, because I'm telling you, they are out here and they're young and they're ambitious. Okay.
Can I just ask something real quick? I think it's actually the opposite. I feel like the men who are taken and with a woman in a relationship are the most accessible. I think they throw themselves out there. That's just my take. That's what I've seen.
You think that they solicit?
I think that most men who are married are literally the worst. So,
well, like I said, the phones that I've looked through, it's not that. They don't even be giving the girls much. They be hitting them with the, hey, what's up? How was your day? They don't be giving them much. These girls keep going and going and going. Don't underestimate that, Andrea. Like, they don't have to do much to get these girls to, like, especially if they a little bit of cute, a little bit of money. They really don't have to do much. There are ones that we know that are married that still solicit women, that still try to date women. But I'm trying to tell you, every day it's them fighting not to entertain these women that are coming for them. You have to know that. If your man's ugly, you might be okay. But you know,
if your man is ugly, you might be okay.
If he's don't matter, you might be okay. But if he looks any kind of decent, has any type of anything going on with his life, you have to know this. You have to know this.
I think it's the complete opposite. Like, especially when we say like girls should be on their encouraging women to be on their P's and Q's. No matter what a woman does, it seems like they cheat on the best women. So it's like, don't think because you're doing everything right that he won't step outside those doors and go looking for somebody else. I mean, I just personally feel like when it comes to these married and taken men, they are the most accessible. And it's kind of disgusting.
Interesting. Kayla, who you got going next?
I kind of want to hear what the real Precious has to say about all of this.
On you.
Chasing a taken man. So I think chasing a taken man, you're pretty much just chasing karma, because if he's a taken man and he can be taken, then at some point they say the way you get him is how you lose him, right? So what he do with you, he gonna do with the next person. So chasing a taken man is just honestly a waste of time, because there's no taken man that should be willing to be chased after. No taken man is going to want to be chased after. He has what he wants. He has what he needs. So really, you're just chasing your karma.
Yeah, but don't forget, sometimes they want extra. You know, can I get a little dessert on the side? Can I get my, you know?
Yeah, but then that's not a taken man.
He's
not a taken man if he wants some extra on the side.
That's not true, though.
He's a takeout man.
You're right. He's taken, and so he takes some to go because he's taken.
He's
so
a
he has to go home.
He's
He has to go home. So
he's not a taken man. A taken man doesn't allow himself to be chased. A taken man doesn't allow himself to be chased. So a taken man, like I said, is not going to allow himself to be chased by someone who wants what they can't naturally have for themselves. So if a taken man is being chased, he's you know, obliging in it, he's not a taken man, in my opinion.
No, I agree. If he's entertaining it, then he's clearly not taken.
Gotcha. Real Precious, who you got?
Any, mini, miny, mo. Lady Di, it's your turn to go, girl.
Okay, so shout out to Paris or whatever. But what I have to say about the video is I
Not
don't
whatever.
no, y'all go follow her, but what she said was interesting. I do agree that a lot of women want to take men that are taken. And the reason that she gave sounds valid to the sense of women that think like that. But how I look at it is basically, I think women like that are lazy because the same man that you're trying to get that's married was single, right? And he had to show something to the lady, right? The one that he married, that he was about or something worth a husband. Okay, so when you get a man who was already married, you're basically interviewing him, but he had no time to interview you, which means he's not going to marry you. Even if you try to steal him, it's going to be hard because you're showing that you're lazy. And most husbands like women who are not lazy because lazy mean you're going to be lazy in bed. You're going to be lazy cook. You're going to be lazy at everything, being a lazy mother, right? Because you're trying to skip and cheat, use cheat codes. We're not playing games, right? So we're it's real life. The things that you get in life, make sure that you do it at 100. And cheating your way through something is foolish. Because you got to understand, it's not just you trying to take someone's man. You have to deal with that wife. You know, some wives are shy and timid. You know, they may stay around because the man is messing around, but there's some women that will whoop your ass. So be ready to fight. Be ready to get shot at. Be ready for a whole war. You know, you got family, you got kids that hate, you know, when parents are cheating. You know, they try to fight their parents. Like, why you mess on my mom? Why you mess on my dad? So you have to be ready for the war. And I think it sounds cute. Hey, what's up, parents? It sounds cute. What's up? It sounds real cute, but then it's real stupid. I don't think people should be lazy in life. You're not lazy when you get your job. Well, some people are. But I think, you know, most people try to do their best to get some money. All right. So you got to make sure when you're trying to get a man, you don't do it that way because that's not the right way to do it. You know, you have to make sure that he wants you. And just because you're cute and you might have a fat ass don't mean that he gonna want you. Because some men that marry their wife don't marry them for just those things. They marry them for a lot of other characteristic traits, more than just that she's cute. So that's immature too. I think that's the immature way of thinking. You know, you got to be an adult. All right, an adult thinks things through, and I don't think that's very thought out for women who have that mindset. So that's my thoughts on that.
All right, so what's up? Who you got going next? Now the women have decided that they don't have a choice but to choose a man. Okay.
I want to pick a man really quick. So I'm gonna go with Marcus.
Okay, so as parts of the video that I agree with, right? I think relationships, like to being in a relationship, is a skill set that you learn to intermingle with somebody and be in the same house with them. It requires you to have a different type of attitude that's to want to be solo all the time. To the point about, well, let me see. To the point about, do married men or men in relationships get cheated, get hit on more? I think that's true too. I think a pre-selection occurs. So it's like walking to a car dealership with a pre-approval letter. It lets somebody know that somebody wanted you. You know what I'm saying? And you had those skill sets. I think the natural answer for this, based off everything y'all said, would be polygamy, right? If you in a situation where you can be honest about who you are and that you may have these inclinations or may want another woman, all this other stuff, it could be done within the confines of a relationship, so it's no deception that occurs because you and her are on the same page and y'all understand that. That's if you want that. If you don't want that, then monogamy would be the route, and then you'll be able to remain in that committed relationship. But if you have those urges and that's something you want to do and you're able to express that with your partner, then I think it's nothing wrong. We're moving forward just as long as no deception is allowed, so y'all on the same page.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. I wanted to get Paris in here since she was the one that talked about it. Are you there? Paris? Okay, not yet. All right. Mike, who you got going?
Shit, I was gonna go to Paris. Let me go to Sweetie. Let me hear what Sweetie got to say.
Shit, I thought y'all was gonna get all the ladies out the way. Shit,
They did.
all of them for real.
All the ladies, yeah. All the ladies that went.
Damn. Shit. Chasing the taking man. We all know it occurs. There's some things I do disagree that was said on this panel that I can speak to. We know that it's true that women chase taking men. However, I will say this. She said that over 50% of women have admitted to trying to take another woman's man, and they only had a 33% success rate. That still says that majority of those men said no. So no, they are not all for the streets. Only 33% of them are for the streets. And it kind of almost aligns with the rates in which people cheat. We already know this. We already know the data on that. We know that we know the data on what group, what the percentages are regarding cheating. So I don't know. I would say that the problem with kind of what Andrea said, and I don't doubt her experience. I think she has experienced a lot of men that were married who tried to attempt to get at her, or she's probably experienced a lot of men that have tried to attempt to get at her friends. However, we never talk about the men that didn't jump in your inbox. See, it's easy for us to say, if you see a bunch of married men jump in your inbox, you say, well, see, this is proof that all married men ain't shit. They all want to get at you. They all want to do this. But what about the men that didn't jump in your inbox? Just like we can always say, all these hoes is for the streets. All these hoes is gonna want to rich. All these hoes gonna buy, go after the highest value man and all of that. For instance, like I said, I think a lady talked to me about this. It was a hairstylist, and I was complaining about Future, because we was talking about how all these women choose to be baby mamas and all of that, right? And she was like, and I used Future as an example. I said, man, he got 9 women pregnant. She was like, yeah, he got 9 women pregnant, but what about the thousands that told him no? What about the thousands that refused to have sex with him? What about the thousands that refused to have his baby? We never think about that. So I say the same thing. We always want to talk about how married men ain't shit, or these married men all for the streets, but you never talk about the ones that said no or didn't approach you. Paris, Andre, what's up? What's up, lady?
First of all, you talking about statistics. I know you don't think that they really went down a line of men and was like, hey, have you ever cheated on your wife before? Yes or no? And just, do you think those people on that actual survey were being completely honest? Like, let's be here.
I mean, that may be true, but that's the only data we have to go on.
Yeah, please.
Let me explain it to how a survey goes. Right? With
I need you to explain how a survey goes.
I'm saying they would not ask.
For honest.
I'm not being disrespectful to you. I'm saying the way that the survey goes is that they ask women the question. It wasn't them asking the men. So when they said, "Okay, have you ever tried to get ever tried to solicit a man?" They said 50% said yes, and then 33% of those same women said that they were successful. It wasn't a question asked to the men.
Okay, I need to see the article, because at this point, it's he said.
You don't need to see no damn article. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay,
Stop
so
it.
I'm here and I'm in traffic and I'm trying to like get some service. So
Okay, you kind of choppy.
We can't hear you, Paris. So who's next?
Sweeney. Well, we'll go with Trev. You haven't went yet, right?
Yeah, I didn't go yet.
Go ahead.
All right, so there's a part of the video that resonated with me, right? Just to share idea that sometimes you have women who will actually go after men who are kind of already softened up, right? And even to go to Andrea's point real quick, that sometimes the men, they are accessible. right? And the reason why it would be easier to get those guys is because they need that 20%,
You
or
said
they want that 20%, right? Sometimes they want that 20%, and that's all they want. So it would be a lot easier for those women to go ahead and do that. There's a lot of men who do that. I know men and women who only deal with married people, right? And the reason why is because they don't have to do very much, right? And sometimes they don't want to just steal your man. Sometimes they just borrow them or wait for the right moment, because all you have to do is fulfill that 20%, whatever it is that they're missing. It could be sex. It could be maybe they don't pay them attention, or maybe they don't respect them. And they just might be easier to talk to, might be easy to be around, right? And this isn't anything good. I'm just trying to explain, what's going on. So a female will see that. They'll see the hole that needs to be filled, and they'll try and fill that hole. And it's so much easier to get close to a guy when that's all you have to do, because you don't have to do any of the gritty stuff. You don't have to watch children with them. You don't have to pay bills with them. All you got to do is go ahead, give them some McLovin, talk to them once in a while on the phone. And guess what? If the time is right and that's what you really want, then you could go ahead and push the other one out of the way, because he didn't even get the full opportunity to experience you in that way. And it probably wouldn't be a good situation, because once he tries to pay bills with you, raise his kids with you, none of that stuff is going to work out half the time. So I don't think it always works out, but I definitely see how that could happen and why some females would absolutely target a man who's married, because it's just a lot less that you would have to do.
I appreciate that. Who you got going next, Trey?
Did Mr. Let go yet?
Oh, you would have known that, bro. If Mr. Let Go went.
Well, I'm just making sure, because I'm like,
Go,
damn,
Mr.
nobody
Let
said
Go.
Damn, go ahead, Let Go. Bring it home.
All right, one, women in particular are inherently lazy. So whatever opportunity they have to circumvent the vetting process of anything, just like how we like, hey, pick another person. Although other women that stare at the screen like, like y'all don't know what y'all want to eat. Y'all don't know who to pick next. So y'all especially can't pick a damn man. So of course, when it comes to sitting here with your own devices and just thinking to yourself like, damn, I'm terrible at picking men and I'm lazy as hell. So why don't I just get her man, because it's safer to just get him, because virtually every man I've ever picked in my life has been a bum. So let me help myself by getting with her man and stealing her man, because my ass is fatter than her and she's gaining weight. So I can easily get her, and boom. So yeah, women are inherently lazy, and two, women are extremely terrible at choosing men. So when a woman has proven to have gotten a situation right, when she finally finds a man, it's easier for her to just get the man, because she can't get the damn man even if she tried, on her own, just out in the dating world. And the third thing is people, men and women, they like what they can't have. I get a girlfriend, I'm gonna get all kinds of women. The second I post a damn girl, I'm gonna get all kinds of women trying to holler at me, right? If you got a man, all kinds of dudes gonna be in your DMs, because here's what's crazy. As single people, and I ain't telling y'all what y'all are doing, but as single people, we are smashing different people without being in a relationship. So our exes or our just whoever have access to us in some type of deep level. They can text you, hey, big head, or I miss you, or whatever, or sex, right? But the second you get in a relationship, they no longer have access to you. So regardless of who you are, the second you get in a relationship, you are no longer accessible, and people inherently are always going to want what they can't have. And the last thing is, a lot of women sleep with married men simply because they know damn well they ain't never going to be able to pull or get a man to marry her. most of y'all don't think a man is actually gonna marry you one day. You know, shout out to Stacey O, so, you know, and Lady Di, y'all married or whatever. But some women actually don't think that it's ever going to happen. So why not just see how it feels to be with a married man? Because you know, ain't nobody gonna marry your ass ever. So that's the last thing.
Somebody wanted to respond. I seen Stacey O. You were shaking your head.
Woo! Hopefully, y'all can hear me.
Yes. Okay. Give me a moment, Stacey. Yes, we can hear you right now. You can go.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be really briefly. First of all, I wasn't saying that I was gonna take anybody, man. I was literally speaking from a woman's point of view. So there was literally no reason to be offended because, yeah, nobody's seen y'all, man. Calm down. Secondly, even though it may be deemed as lazy, literally everything women talk about now is living a softer life, especially for Black women. We always saying how we want it easy. We want the man to already come prep. We want him to do all of this, that, and the third. So if you think that man already needs to come prepped and fully ready to settle down and be committed and do all of these things, how you think a man gonna get acclimated to doing it? If you're not going to play the field and have competition.
You broke up, Paris. Anybody got smoke for me from what I said? Stacey O was looking like she wanted to.
I really don't want no smoke. So, but I'm just, you know, I partner with some of the things that you said, but I'm just still in shock. I mean, part of me is still in shock about some things, but my eyes are just really open now to what's going on around me. And so I thought about when Trev said the 80-20. And so, I mean, I've heard a little bit of somebody's perspective on it. And, you know, like 80%, I guess, is like going right in a relationship and like 20%. And sometimes people weigh if they should be with somebody and trying to see if that 80% will weigh heavier than the 20%. And, you know, it's always that 20% that, just like you guys said, that people can use, women can use, men can, you know, they can use to be able to pry into marriages and relationships. So I feel like this is like a learning session for me just to hear, you know, Kayla's perspective and Precious's perspective. It's a lot of insight, you know. I'm taken aback. And then, you know, Mr. Let Go, you just keep it real.
Yeah, just being in a relationship with a married man, I'm quite sure is so different than being married to the man.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the lady. Let's just ask the ladies on the panel. Have you ever attempted to take another woman's man?
Somebody was going to ask that question.
Come on now.
None of y'all?
No.
You know, as Ricky said,
Sprinkle,
never anybody
baby.
on the panel.
We don't sprinkle, baby.
What about you, Andrea? You ever attempted to take another woman's man?
Have you ever tried to take another woman's man?
Wow.
Sure. Now what? Hey. Now what? Sure.
Why would you do a thing like that?
Same reason why you did it.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I just asked a straight up question and you tried to go straight for the calling me gay. So I'm gonna lean right into it. So what's up?
Why are you asking me that question? Why are you asking
me
because
it's the topic at hand. So I figured that since we are speaking so strongly about it, why not ask the women on the panel so that we may or may not confirm the things that man has actually said in that video?
Okay, so out of all of the women, why do you choose me specifically?
Well, I asked all of the women, and you were the only one that was silent. All of them answered. So I just said, what about you, Andrea?
I didn't see anybody come off of mute.
They literally all answered the question.
Winnie, I'm going to tell you this. This is my first. I'm going to give you your warning sign right now. Keep it real cute.
What are you talking about? I asked everybody the same question I just asked you.
She's setting a boundary, Sweeney.
I'm going to tell you this.
Boundary. That's all she's doing. Setting a boundary.
What boundary is there to say? I asked the question.
You don't know what's going on. Once she
people
sees
in the chat
your
said
name
that I
in her
only
mouth,
answer.
Once she sees your name in her mouth,
okay,
or the other way around is a problem, Sweeney. Just so you know that. It is.
Well, I will say this then. I don't know how it's possible for us to have a discussion on this panel if we can't mention each other by name.
Just don't call her name out.
That I don't think that's possible when we're having an open discussion.
Okay, let me
I guess what she's saying is that she declines to answer the question.
That's fair. I don't have no problem with her declining to answer the question. She said, "I don't want to answer that." Cool, but
Just
how she
recognize her
responded.
boundary, bro. Just recognize her boundary.
Okay, let her respond.
Go ahead.
Not that I declined to answer the question. It's just that you specifically call out my name and are asking me if I tried to take somebody's man. So I'm going to tell you this one time. Keep it real cute up on here. For real. I swear to God.
Okay. Okay. Well, the thing is that you missed the fact that I asked every woman on the panel. All of them answered except for you. You were the only one that was muted, and you can go back and watch. You were the only one that was muted. So I said, "What about you, Andrea?"
I highly suggest you keep it cute up here tonight.
I don't have to keep anything cute.
Okay.
I asked you the same question. I asked you the same question that I asked everybody else.
Real.
Don't try to make it as if I picked on you. I asked you the same question. Can you acknowledge that? Can you acknowledge that you were mistaken?
Moving forward.
Can you acknowledge that you were mistaken?
Prayers to all parties involved.
What does that mean?
So the situation is this.
Mr. Lego, let us have this. Let us have this. Let us have this.
I got you.
Let us have this. Can you
But
acknowledge?
But the thing of it is,
Have
though,
the boundary, bro. It's no. Let's have this.
What are
Just
y'all
set the boundary.
having?
Leave her alone.
Like,
yeah, because she's not
When a
engaging
woman
really
sets
in
a
what you're
boundary,
trying to
leave her
say.
the hell alone.
Yeah, she's just saying that she don't want to. She took it incorrectly. But at the same time, she's letting you know that she don't want to discuss it.
Right.
Even if
That's not what she said.
She don't fuck with you, bro. Like
That's not what Mr. Lego. She don't need you to cheerlead for her. Put your pom poms down.
I'm showing you
put
that
your
a
pom
woman
poms
is
down. We're good. We're good over here. She can speak for
and
herself.
you gotta respect it.
She can speak for
Can we
herself.
move on?
That's not what she said. You're misinterpreting.
Sweeney, are
Bro,
you married?
can we move on?
Yeah.
Is that a wedding ring?
Yeah.
You're married?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't act married, do we?
It's
I
not.
guess
that.
not. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but okay.
No.
No.
I was just simply
We need
asking a question
Kathy.
because he waved his hand and I saw a ring, so I just was confirming.
We need to be acting catty. Like, damn, leave these women
Bro,
alone.
I don't know if that's catty or not to ask somebody.
It's catty as hell. You keep
It's not
arguing
catty to
about
ask
that
her,
woman.
but once she didn't give you the answer that she
You
that
move
you
on, right?
wanted,
Or she
you
was
should've just
offended.
moved on.
That's
Yeah.
not what I, that's not that wasn't that
Can we
wasn't
move on, Sweeney?
No,
Can
we
we move
can't.
on, please,
Mr.
sir?
Lego, we don't need
Can
you
we
to
move on?
Let me do this. Let me do this. Say, Sweeney, go ahead and finish what you got to say, and we'll see if Andrea would like to respond to you.
All right. So for this is actually for the panel. It's not even for Andrea. It wasn't that she didn't want to answer the question. She thought I was picking on her. That's what she thought I was doing when I mentioned her by name. So when I said, "What about you, Andrea?" she didn't see that I asked everybody else and that everybody answered. And I was just asking, "What about you?" in the sense of everybody else answered except for her. She thought I was picking on her. Andrea, I'm letting you know I was not picking on you. I'm not trying to go at you or any of that. I was just simply asking you the same question I asked everybody else. Now, if you don't want me to mention you by name and all of that, if that's where we're going with this, which I doubt that's what you was doing, I think Mr. Lego is misinterpreting the situation, then we could have that conversation. But I don't think that I'm just letting you know that was not what I was doing.
Okay. So one, you hold on, can somebody mute up? Because somebody's off mute.
I'm sorry, let me mute up. I just didn't know that this was like about to be an actual conversation. Let me know when y'all are done.
I told you how it's gonna go. We're gonna let her finish, and it's gonna be
is now about to engage with the person they don't want to engage with. So this shit is crazy. I ain't on your side no more, Andrea.
I don't need to pick my side because I got my side. Okay. I'm gonna say this.
Sweeney, these women crazy, bro.
Correctly. No. I didn't take it incorrectly. Okay.
Okay.
You're not on me and call it rain. Okay. You asked the question. Only one person came off of mute, and that was Kayla. Nobody else said anything. And I just sat here as I always do and just look at you like I don't really know what you're saying because I don't really be going in like I just be like, whatever, I will let him have it, whatever.
You got it, lady.
Like, have you and then the question, have you ever tried to take anybody's man, Andrea? Are you serious right now? That's offensive to me that you specifically are asking me that instead of asking one by one. Hey, Kayla, have you ever done it? Hey, Stacy, have you ever done it? Don't try to single me out because you've been trying to do that all this, like for the past month, you've been trying to single me out. So I'm gonna tell you like this. Keep on. Keep testing your luck. I'm telling you now. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Go ahead,
Okay?
Humble Dad. Go ahead, bro.
So, hey, I'm good, man. Let's get to these super chats. You know what I'm saying? Y'all intensity out here, bro. Listen, y'all need to make sure y'all confirm what y'all trying to say and make sure that it's understood.
That's
Right,
all I'm saying.
All right, here we go. My homie, Dub Will said, "What's good, Chad and panel, except Mr. Let Go." Okay. We got just my 4 cents. $5 chat. There's nothing Adam's wife could offer in the bedroom that's even worth $1,000. Most model agencies won't give them more than $2K per scene. These people be studying their work, don't they? Okay. Then you got Sir Hell Speaks. Salute to the chat and the main man, Mr. Let Go.
What's up, Sir Hell?
Corey Collins, $20 chat. Y'all grill Sweeney for asking Andrea questions shows ago when all she does is speak against men and marriage, but had nothing to say last Thursday when Ali cursed out and insulted Paris. Hashtag hypocritical. Let's see. Dub Will, $4.99. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. They backstabbers. Backstabbers. Anybody know that song? All right.
No.
In your face. Come on.
Dub Will,
like, you know that was
$1.99.
part of your time.
I'm a millennial. So
And
I don't
welcome back, Caleb. And then we have the T.O., the lady selling pictures of her body parts online is talking about men. LOL. And then we have, let's see, man.
Only
Sharon D. Bear, $4.99.
Right, super chats. I'm just saying.
Say again? No. Okay. Hi, Kayla, missed you.
Hey, Sharon, girl. I wrote to you in the chat. How y'all doing?
Meals 36, $2. I kind of agree with Andrea.
See, Sweeney?
Quinn 199. Andres is a sex worker. Man. Quinn 199. You didn't ask one by one. You singled me out. What?
Quentin got money. You seen that? $199.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, it is hilarious. Hank, the basement, $2. Mr. Lego said, "No set of ties for you, Andre."
Exactly. You're on timeout, Andrea.
That is all the super chats. Appreciate everybody for the super chats. Hey man, y'all are making the party go for real. Like, hopefully y'all get back to love and peace and not so much war. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about the nuclear family, so maybe that's why y'all starting with the nukes already. Right? We're gonna go to our next conversation, and here we go.
Oh, you know, so like, what are some things that men could do to get their support system to hear them out?
Yeah, we gotta really do a lot of work on our throat chakras. And even if you're not into the throat chakra stuff and all of that, it's real, but I understand everybody's at different parts of their journey, different belief systems. One, we got to get comfortable expressing ourselves. Not just when shit hits 100.
Mm-hmm.
When your meter of emotion goes to 1 and you slightly annoyed or you slightly feel something that kind of bothered you, we so used to just eating it to try to function through it because we the man and you're just supposed to be comfortable wearing the world on your shoulders and nobody cares about what we think or feel. We get in that rhythm, and by the time we become adults and fathers and husbands, we have this program of not saying what we got to say until it's a dire need, somebody dying or divorce or somebody going to jail. You got to be able to recognize when that meter hits 1 before it goes to 99. And when it hits 1, that means your spirit has something to communicate to you. Mm-hmm. And you have something to communicate to somebody, whether that's yourself, your baby moms, your family members, whatever it is. So learn how to express yourself every time you feel a tick of your emotional meter. Now, once you get comfortable with that, you got to fine tune how you express.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to tap into creative forms of expression. If your voice ain't working, no matter how tactful you may be in your conversation, soft-spoken, non-threatening, if the voice ain't doing it, you may need to write a letter. right? You may need to draw a painting or find some other form of communication to relay that message. And sometimes you could go through the whole gamut and it still don't come through, right? They still don't hear you. But at least you know you maxed out. And in doing that, at least you could rest knowing I exhausted possibility. This particular piece of balance I'm speaking up for, maybe it's not meant right now. But to a large degree, we doing double work because when we not saying it, if we do say it, we not doing the work to know how to do that effectively. And then you got to carry the weight of not being able to resolve. Masculine energy is all about solutions, problem solving, resolution. If we can't do that, we feel like less of men, right? So you carrying 3 different bags by not doing the necessary work to be able to fine tune that throat chakra, fine tune your voice. And you don't do that just with your family. At work, boss going off on you, you gotta be a soldier to the degree I'm gonna express myself even at my place of employment, even if it means I'm gonna get fired.
Right.
So be it, right?
Mhm.
God gonna have something else for me, but we gotta be that defiant in how we express ourselves, especially as men and black men, because the world, our community, society has silenced us so much. We gotta kind of push back against that. So find a way to purify that energy for yourself. Yeah.
Humble Dad, I'm so sorry. That
You're on
clip
mute.
is
You're on
way.
mute, Humble Dad.
No, you good. You good. You can go ahead and go, Kayla.
No, I don't want to go. I just want to tell you one thing. That
Yes, ma'am.
clip is way too long.
Super gay too.
Well, first of all,
And why
Kayla.
does this man have on sunglasses inside? Who are you supposed to be?
Right.
Kayla, what happened? I thought you
I'm
didn't want to say
sorry.
anything.
That whole thing was nothing. Go to your.
I'm
Go to
cool.
your-
What the hell he was
Wait,
talking
and Miss
about?
Blanco, you said it was
long
gay?
as hell. I'm sorry.
He did.
We've had clips longer than this. But
Precious.
you said it was gay?
The nigga said throat chakra. You don't tell another man about your
threw
throat.
me off with that
That
though.
is
Throat chakra.
horrible.
I was-
And then
yo,
he
I
said
was
it
bugged
again
out.
at the end. Your throat. Niggas,
He said it like 3 times talking about throat
Right.
chakra. I'm like,
You
what the
know
hell
what
is a
that
throat
is?
chakra?
You know
Hold
what
on,
it
one at a
is.
time. Oh,
A
one
man
at a
cannot
time.
discuss
Hey,
his
Mr. Let
throat.
Go. Go ahead and finish your thought, homie.
Okay, a man cannot discuss his throat to another man. Okay.
Oh my God.
That was gay. So, so I can go? Me?
Yeah, you already
Okay.
going.
So, yeah. So that was hella gay. Virtually everything he said was word salad. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I almost nodded off on what the hell he was talking about. But I can understand what he's saying. It's about black
Hey,
men.
hold on. Did you say it was word salad, but then you understood what he said? Go ahead. My
Only
bad. That's on me.
because of how intellectual I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's what it
able
is.
to
Okay.
discern the word
Oh.
salad. All right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what this man was trying to say, and I'm just going to place it eloquently, black men, not me, but them or y'all or whoever, don't know how to communicate their boundaries and their needs, which is also gay. As a man, you must, because ain't nobody gonna baby you. You're not a damn woman. You know, we're talking to men, right? You're not no damn woman. If your woman is overstepping your boundaries, if your mama or your supervisor or if anybody is overstepping your boundaries, as a man, you have to find a way to learn a certain sense of diplomacy. And the first thing I would say is go check out some books. The best book to read is the Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. So that right there would teach you everything you need to know about communication and diplomacy. But a lot of these dumbass dudes, they ain't read no books since they was in eighth grade, and they just out here with these women. And that's why all these little red pill dudes are so angry and hate women, because they don't know how to communicate with their mama and with any other woman. So start reading some books, you freaking losers. And instead of just complaining about how y'all can't communicate, because what I'm gonna say to you is nobody cares. All right, you're a man. Get your life together. Go figure out what you got to figure out, and then come back. And if you can't figure out whether you can't get along with your woman, if you can't get along with your supervisor and ask them for a raise or demand a raise, like somebody with some balls, go read some books, go get some therapy, because a lot of these dudes, they're modern men, and they've been raised by their mothers, and their mothers are all timid, and okay, Johnny, you know what I'm saying? They've been protected. So a lot of you men, you got to allow your balls to drop and say it with your chest. Like, as an example, a supervisor, Sweeney, can you?
Oh, my
Sweeney,
fault, bro. Go ahead, bro.
you go to your supervisor, right? And you tell him what you need. But at the same time, you don't just say, hey, I want a raise. You say, hey, because of what I've been doing, because of how I've been working, I believe this is what I have earned thus far. So can we have a conversation about a raise? You say that shit with your chest. And like I said, too many of these men have been raised by their mothers and they don't know how to negotiate. They don't know diplomacy. So go read some books, you bum ass niggas.
But then you don't think that you and him are similar in that nature? Like, sometimes y'all just be saying a whole lot of nothing.
What are you talking about? I literally said go read a Dale Carnegie book called How to Win Friends.
I'm talking about in between the bread, though. Like in between the bread. Like people would probably say
you're taking away from my eloquent point. Like you're screwing it up.
No, basically what he's saying is that 90% of the shit you say is pretty much word salad too.
See, that's what I was trying to communicate. I appreciate the eloquence.
Okay, so the thing about it is we have an audience, right? And it don't matter. I actually gave out some actionable steps and y'all are fucking it up. So I just want y'all to think about what the intent is by saying something before you say it. Hence what the guy is actually trying to do.
Yeah, I got that wholeheartedly. The main point that you came to was y'all should read more books to be able to communicate. But you took the same amount of time he took to say that. That's what I'm saying.
What's your point though?
You did exactly what he did and say don't do what he did.
Word salad, nigga. You don't understand that?
But I didn't sit around talking about my throat like a gay person.
Oh my God. But who's really timing it? Are you guys?
I wasn't timing him. No, I've been rocking with Mr. Let Go for a very long time. This ain't our first party.
Your humble dad, that's my guy.
Anybody want to respond to the video?
It was gay talking about his throat. That was so gay.
All that man said, that's the only thing you gather from it was he was talking about his throat.
Can I say
all of that?
Yes, Andre. Yes, you can go.
I just want to bring attention and awareness to the toxic masculinity where you guys started using the term gay and stuff like that because he's talking about his throat chakra. Are we kidding right now? Like
a man does not do that, and that's between men. You could talk about your throat because you're a woman.
No, here's the thing. See, this is why people are afraid to come out of the closet. Because
oh my God.
I think that I'm just, I'm just saying, like we have to think about how we use terms like gay and use like
gay.
Because he's spiritually inclined and he knows what a throat chakra is. We're throwing out the term gay because he's informed. What is that? What are we doing?
Gay.
What are we doing here?
I think you have a solid point, right? So could you then also
believable?
Hold on, Sweeney. I got a question. Could you then also say the same thing to the black women that tell black men that they're gay for doing something? Do you hold the same energy?
And here we are deflecting. I mean, I have
answer the question.
I literally agree with you.
No.
Answer the question, little head.
My first statement was I agree with you.
All I'm saying is this: if you agree with me, agree with me. Don't then try to look for a way to try to invalidate what I'm saying.
How about you answer the question though?
Faced with a situation where women are saying the people I hang out with aren't calling men gay for like just stuff like knowing what a throat chakra.
But I don't hang out with you, so what that got to do with anything?
All I'm saying
we don't hang out.
All I'm saying is this:
maybe you might want to hang out with somebody like me, and then your life might change because the people you hang out with maybe.
In what kind of way?
Hey, she giving you an option, Mr. Let Go. She said, "How would her life change if she was with you?" Here's your interview, Mr. Let Go.
Well, you will have to experience it in real time because it's an actual experience, Andrea.
And cut. All right. So who got next on the particular video?
Andrea can't stop smiling.
Mike, go ahead. We go Mike, and then we go with you, Real Precious.
Oh wait, it's Marcus.
Oh, sorry, Marcus. I apologize.
It's okay. Your throat chakra wasn't in line, so you messed my name up.
Pause.
So look, I went and read up on what a throat chakra was because I'm not familiar with it. Why y'all was going back and forth. And he basically it basically said the ability to bring your ideas into reality and vibrate from your inner soul and speak your truth out into the world. I might not use that language. No, it's not sexual at all. In no shape, way, or form is it sexual. It's all according to what I just read. It's all about not holding stuff within. So to his point, because I was a little confused on the throat chakra part because I knew nothing about that. But to his point, I think that he subscribed to like a broken window theory in policing, right? Is where you take care of all the small stuff so it doesn't become big stuff and it's solved before you get to the big issues. So they ticket the mess out of broken windows so you don't got 1,000 abandoned cars and people hustling in front of your house. I think that's a great technique, right? Because if you address things, they cannot become as big of an issue because somebody already know that you're going to have a problem with it at this level. So it won't even get to that level. The issue I think comes in with people is when you do express that at this level and you're not irate and they don't take you seriously. And then they continue to go further and further past the boundary that you set. So I think he was trying to clearly show how to identify a boundary and say, hey, this is my boundary. It might not be your boundary, but it's my boundary. I do not want you crossing this line right here. Once you cross this line, you have violated me. And that's for any person to set up. And I think if you do that, you can have healthy relationships, either with friendships or, marriage or partnership or whatever type of romantic relationship you got. But we all need boundaries. So in some summation, I agree with him.
That's what's up. The Real Precious.
Yeah.
What you got?
I totally agree with the guy in the video. I think that a lot of people struggle with speaking because they still have things that are hurting them. They have things that they haven't gotten out. Part of my story being adopted in foster care, a lot of people don't talk about that because they're ashamed, because they feel like they're different from other people. But you have to talk about those things. You have to get it out. And I think for men, because you guys do carry the world on your shoulders, or you assume that position, you rather not talk about it and you rather be about it, meaning that you're doing things to keep you busy, but it doesn't really flush out what's really going on in your mind and your heart and your spirit. That's what the throat chakra is. It is to clear out what's going on with you. And there are, I think there's 7 different chakras. I could be wrong, but that is one of them. And a lot of people don't speak on, even women, but men especially, because you guys, in my opinion, you guys are the creators of your world. So if you are letting things pass by, you're not speaking on it, you're not really regulating what's going on around you, then yes, you can still be productive, but at some point you're going to crash. I believe in letting people know what it is. Okay, meaning that you might be able to talk to them like that, but you're not going to talk to me like that, because they're not going to set the boundary with you, but I am. And people need to know that you're not somebody that can be played with, because if they do it one time, they're going to do it another time. And if they do it another time, then other people are going to see them do it another time, and they're going to think that they can do the same thing to you. And I think men especially, you need to say something. You need to say something to whoever it is. And like he said, you need to find a way to be expressive, because men can go 0 to 100 real quick and it becomes destructive. And you need to find a way to be productive with how you say things to people so they know you mean business, and so that you can get it out, and so you don't have to repeat yourself again. Because if you have to repeat yourself again, then it's a problem. And then you learn how to really weed out who is really for you, who really not really for you, who respect your boundaries, and who feel like they can overstep your boundaries. So I think it's super important for men to talk about a lot of things. And the main root of those things are a lot of things that happen to men in their childhood. You know, a lot of men are raised by women who silence them. They either silence them or they don't pay them any mind. Like, boy, get out of here. Oh, you ain't supposed to do this. You ain't supposed to cry. You ain't supposed to go play somewhere. right? And he's never his feelings are never validated by anyone. And so then when he goes out into the world, it's like, all right, I got to work, I got to do everything to make sure everyone is taken care of, but then he's not being taken care of. His feelings aren't being validated. He has no one to talk to, and no one ever really knows who this man truly is to his core. He's just doing things for people. And I don't think that men should travel throughout the world like that. Because at the end of the day, when that man goes away, when it's his time, who's going to really know him? Who's going to really be able to say, I knew him and what he went through? So I think that men do need that outlet, but men have to be the initiators of that for themselves. No one can do that for them. They have to do that for themselves.
And another book that can help men who have this issue is called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Great book for everything that Precious just said.
That's what's up.
I just wanted to add this too to what Precious was saying, because it clicked to me when. So a lot of times we hear people talk about how relationships be terrible and it's a fight. I think it runs right back to this, because if you set the boundaries and you're able to express yourself like Precious said, a lot of the stuff that's past the point of positive or healthy communication, it seemed unrealistic. Like the way people think communicating healthy is unrealistic, it seemed unrealistic when you set those boundaries like that for you not to be communicating healthy. That I just want to add that.
Appreciate that. Lady Dot, what you got?
So the video was good. I just didn't agree with him saying if you can't communicate, then find other ways. He mentioned like painting and stuff like that. Sometimes if you try to put it out on a picture, the person that's receiving it may not understand it, and you still gonna be in the same situation like you were in the beginning. So I think that people should just learn how to communicate. So reading books, I know Mr. Lego said that. Precious mentioned it. Going to a workshop, there's many different avenues you can learn how to communicate and just get that together. Take your spouse, your girlfriend, or whatever with you, so y'all can learn together. It doesn't have to be a form of therapy. It's just a form of building yourself up. Because if you can't communicate with her, then you probably can't communicate with a lot of other people, or women in your family. So you just have to make sure that you just get better as a person and just work on that. And don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Sometimes, there's some men that say, well, if I tell my lady something, she's just going to shoot me down and not understand what I'm saying. Or she's going to pick on what I'm saying, belittle me. So there are women who do that, but that doesn't mean that you don't say something. You got to be able to stand up and speak for yourself. Even if you was a child and you weren't able to speak up. And I think someone else mentioned that. Okay, that's your childhood, but you're an adult now. So you can still maneuver away from your traumas and kind of just move forward. Because if we keep letting our past be our present, then we're going to be really jacked up individuals. And it's not fair for us as a person, as yourself. You create your life, so keep creating it. You want to make money and make moves, then create, okay, I need to communicate better. And then once you do that, you will meet better people, right? So you're going to eliminate all the toxic ones that's around you. You're going to have better relationships. And then you might be able to get a wife or have the wife that you have, and your marriage is going to get stronger. So I think it's, other ways than just kind of cheating around it. Just get straight to it and figure out how to communicate. And I think it should be good.
Can I just say this really
Yeah.
quick to what Lady Dot was saying? For some people, when they're younger, when they're a child and they don't learn how to express themselves, they live in a jail in their minds. And so for people who have gotten past the point where they can express themselves, we say, oh, well, just communicate better, right? So like the pictures and the writing, when you go to therapy, because I had to go through a lot of therapy when I was younger through my situation, they teach you how to, yes, you write. If you can't say what you are expressing, write it down. They teach you to draw pictures and things like that. These people need training wheels to learn how to express themselves, because it's not just easy, like, let's just go to a workshop and do it, because the way that they see out is not the way that people are seeing them. They're seeing themselves as, I can't express myself. There are people around me who don't understand me, but I can't even get it out because I'm in a jail in my mind. And so they do have to take those baby steps of, let me write it out, let me record it, or let me send you a note instead of saying it, face to face to you, because I haven't gotten past the barrier of actually being able to look you in your eyes to express this to you. So let me just write a note. The picture thing is a little, I mean, we're adults, and so you have to go as far as to draw a picture. I mean, some people are expressive in that way, but I just wanted to say that some people do need training wheels on how to communicate, because it is a very hard task. And when you get into relationships, the biggest thing that you have to learn how to do in order to sustain a relationship is communicate. So while the workshops, I believe, will help, these people have to be in a setting where they're comfortable. And a lot of times it's in a very small setting. It's not with a whole bunch of people. It's in a very small setting where it's you, maybe your mediator or your therapist or whoever it is that's helping you one-on-one actually be able to express yourself. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that yes, we want people to go to workshops and things like that, but you have to have training wheels in order to start, then take those training wheels off so you can elevate to different ways to communicate, to actually feel comfortable doing it. So
And as a
Oh.
from a male standpoint, to what Precious said, you gotta be okay with getting punched in the mouth. And what I mean is, like, everything in a man's life, it's training, right? It's, you're gonna try something, you're gonna get punched in the mouth, or you're gonna try something, you're gonna fall on your back, right? We as men have to be okay with getting embarrassed, getting told no, being rejected, getting punched in the mouth or whatever. So if you want to learn how to fight, the only way you can really learn how to fight is to actual fight. You know what I'm saying? So therapy is good, but when it comes to us men, we can't just be pussyfooting around. Like, communicate with somebody, whether it's like the guy said, your supervisor, your homeboys, or a woman. And if you get rejected, if you feel small, after that happens, you got to get back out here and train and learn. And like I said, read books, because it's not necessarily easy, because men don't get the same grace and patience that women get. Nobody's going to give a shit about you. And at some point, you're just going to keep getting shitted on because you're 36 years old and ain't nobody going to care. So the books, like I said, there's another book called Growing Yourself Up by John Lee that's about regression. So if you have a lot of childhood issues and you keep getting regressed every time somebody, rejects you, well, that's another book for you to read. But we got to do the work along with the therapy. But we men don't have the time and the grace that women have, because nobody gives a damn about our inability to communicate. Nobody cares. Your baby mama gonna treat you like shit. You have a child, and next thing you know, you ain't gonna be able to see your child, and you ain't gonna be able to know why, because you don't have a baby.
I agree with Mr. Lego's point, because I understand, like, what Precious is saying about the training wheels, and it does work, I'm pretty sure. But then the other method, like for me when I was young, for me to learn how to swim, my dad just threw me in deep water. Okay. And I was scared of water before that, like terrified. I think I was like 5 and I was scared of water. Okay. So I was uncomfortable. Threw me in the deep water. Within a month time, I became a little mermaid. Okay. No one could get me out the water. Now, that was from when I was young. As I got older, there were other scenarios where I was like, it was intense training. I was uncomfortable. Even now, I'm on a podcast. If you knew me years ago, you would never see me here. I would not be speaking. I like to be in the back and just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the forefront. I don't do that type of stuff. But I had to, it was just things that I've been through. And I understand the other type of method of just kind of like just get it done, just get to that space, and you're gonna be uncomfortable. So I think the training wheels is cool, but sometimes you're gonna risk your life, like kind of like what Mr. Lego said. He mentioned about the child. There's gonna be even for women. I don't think it's good for women either, because there's situations where they miss, they don't have their child. I see women, don't have their kid. The dad has the custody, or they got a divorce because they wasn't able to communicate these things that could have saved the marriage. Many different aspects. So I think it's cool, but I think that's just things that they should have taught in high school. Just like finances, they wait to the last minute to teach people finances, and people's credit is jacked up, at the age of 40, because these things are not being taught, or they're saying don't get credit, or so many different factors, many different ways I could go with this. But I think in an early age, you got to learn these things to be able to have a prosperous life. So if you're uncomfortable, be uncomfortable. It don't matter. You just need this. You need the skill regardless. So you're gonna get it or not. That's how I look at it.
That's what's up. I will only push back on the part about learning from the education system. I've been in education a very long time. The people that should be teaching their children how to communicate are their parents.
All facts.
You know what I'm saying? So if parents don't know how to communicate, then that's what, similar to what Mr. Lego was saying, that's the struggle that they have. And students are challenged in communicating verbally as well as writing. We have the worst when it comes to reading, writing, and math in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for parents to teach their kids how to communicate. Was somebody else wanted to go? I don't think we heard from you, Trash Move. Is that true?
I didn't.
I didn't go. I didn't go yet.
We go Trev, and then we go Sweeney.
All right, cool. So I'll start out by giving the video one nice pause, because I'm in agreement with Mr. Lecko about throat chakra being crazy. But outside of that, I'm just going to say, men aren't given a safe space to talk, like, for real. Like, anytime that people are dealing with something, it's expected for us to just man up, right? And I understand that, right? And that's what I teach my son. And that's what I try to tell anybody who will help, because the world is unforgiving. When you're a man, they don't care, right? A man begging on the street versus a woman on the street, the woman's going to get more. Sometimes you might help the dude out, but people are compassionate for females. People will listen to a female more. It is what it is. They'll treat them so much softer than they would ever a man. And to go to your point a little bit more, how about that with the parents? It definitely starts with the parents, right? Because they're the ones who are going to teach you how to deal with conflict, how to communicate with people, like you said. But unfortunately, we're running like close to 80% of us that don't have that. Right, we don't have that luxury, so that's where the problem lies. So their communication is going to be broken, and then even that one person there, I've been in some scenarios where I've seen a lot of households. Right, what I do for a living requires me to be in households a lot. Right, maybe 30,000. So I get to see plenty of things that most people don't get to see. And when I tell you that the communication sometimes is just broken, and kids are neglected, and kids are just left without any supervision at all and learn for themselves, right? They're not going to be able to express themselves, especially when they're rejected. If a parent is more concerned with their own life instead of nurturing their children, then they're going to be constantly rejected anytime they come with a problem. So they're going to be trained to shut down anytime they have a problem. That's just going to psychologically stop them, like, oh, okay, well, they already know they're not going to get any good results from anytime they try to seek help. They're going to be rejected. So that's just that thought process. And it's very hard to shake that if this is what you were receiving in your impressionable years. So now you're bringing that into your adulthood, and your partner you might be with may not expect it. And a lot of times we're guilty of that as guys. Like when a dude tries to say something or whatever, I'm like, man, get out of here. You corny, or you soft, or stop, but we don't really understand. A lot of times we never really ask the why. How did this person get to this place? Do you ever really try to have that conversation with your people? What is it that's really bothering you? What's good? Try to get to the root of it. Try to find out how they grew up and why they are missing some of these traits that we have and that we take for granted. We don't even appreciate sometimes just the fact that we were able to pick up what it is that we picked up as children and the protection that we had and learning from our parents who were there, because a lot of people aren't equipped with that. And that's the foundation. If you don't have that, it's going to be difficult for you to learn and communicate. So sometimes we just have to have more patience with people, right? And a lot of men, this is what we're told. And, you know, somebody mentioned red pill content earlier. And that happens when you watch those man up punk, and they don't know how to receive that. No one ever really takes the time to consider how someone is going to receive what it is that you are spitting at them. Sometimes they just don't care. And that's part of the communication. So if your communication is broken with you trying to fix it and then them trying to express the problems that they have, how the hell are you going to be able to speak to each other? You can't, because everybody's communication is broken. So I'll leave it there for now.
It's gonna be on you, Sweeney. I think that's very important, though, Trev. That in communication, people understand it's a two-way street. That patience part, that's a maturity thing, though, right? So, if I'm trying to understand what you're saying, if I'm communicating, then I need to be communicating in a way in which you're going to be able to receive it, right? No different than when men are talking to women. I know on panels a lot, they say, well, don't worry about my tone, just listen to what I'm saying. However, then you'll say that a woman is emotional, right? Well, yes, they're emotional. So you need to understand that and speak to them from that position, because you want her to still speak to you in that same regard, to understand that you're a man and don't disrespect you. So it goes both ways. So I'm just saying, I like what you're saying. Go ahead, Sweeney.
I was kind of gonna say kind of the same things that Trev said, where and Mr. Lego kind of alluded to this. The world doesn't give a damn about how men think, what men think or say. So that's part of the reason why a lot of men don't communicate. It's because if most people don't give it, like, there's areas that we do communicate. On the job, we got shit to say. You know what I mean? We're very big on cost benefit. So on the job, we're more likely to communicate because we know that, hey, look, I can get more pay. I can do this. I can say that. But when you talk about us and how we operate in relationships, the world genuinely doesn't care. You know what I mean? We see it in the laws that are created. We see it in how men are being treated in when it comes to family court. We see how they're being treated within their relationships. Oftentimes, it's anytime that a man has anything to say is, well, what did you do wrong? Or they dismiss what he has to say. We literally just saw a woman set ablaze her ex-boyfriend, his child, and the child of his and the mother of his child. She went in there, set the bed on fire. And what was the reaction to it? Oh, he must have deserved it. Oh, he must have or what, man, I feel sorry for that baby. Or what have you. It wasn't nothing about, man, what, you know what I mean? Poor man, poor this. Everybody had a concern for the child, but they didn't give a damn about the father or the man himself. To a degree in which they didn't even give a damn about the woman that was with him. So we genuinely do not give a shit about what men have to say. But I will say this, though. This is the thing that we have noticed, though, and this is where Mr. Lego is wrong when he wants to talk about the red pill community and the manosphere and say, oh, these just a bunch of men crying. Well, those are the men that's getting the laws changed. It is them that is the reason why we're starting to see laws change in Tennessee. And we're starting to see, I think that, I forgot what other states that they're changing these laws in Florida. It is because of them that you're starting to see a lot of things change, because men have been more vocal about the things that we experience in relationships. Men have been more vocal about the way that we experience family court, regarding paternity tests and things like that. All that came and derived from men speaking up in these manosphere spaces and sharing stories and comparing notes. So I think there's a good and bad in every group, you know what I mean, regardless of what group you affiliate with. But you can't dismiss the entire group and say that all of them are just pussies and don't know how to speak up for themselves. That's simply not true. The space exists simply because men are starting to express themselves. And even then, a lot of people are telling these men to be quiet. Hey, how dare you complain about what you got going on in your relationship? How dare you have a back and forth with somebody on a panel? I just literally got shut down for just trying to have a back and forth with somebody. and was told, be a man. You don't sound like you married. You don't sound like, come on, man. And I'm just having a back and forth. So are we going to allow men to be vocal or are we not?
Well,
we can't play both sides.
I thought you was done.
Go ahead, bro.
Is a addendum to what you just said. It's not about being vocal, it's about being diplomatic. We have to be intentional with our words. See, women just babble about dumb shit. Men can't babble about dumb shit. All right. So a lot of men on these panels in the manosphere, the red pill dudes, they just sit around and whine about women endlessly.
That's not true.
No, they do. But
that's not true.
Hold on, they do. But
they do, but that's not all of them.
Can I listen? If there is a group of them that are actually getting the laws changed, that's awesome. But the majority of the optics say whatever they say. They're just sitting around whining about women all fucking day. So we as men have to be a little bit more stoic and intentional with our words and stop wasting words like women do. We talk too goddamn much, not you, but these men in these spaces. If we actually start having conversations about how to make some changes, why modern women are the way they are, and why we are the way we are, because they don't never talk about themselves, right? Then we can get somewhere. So if we start wasting our times argue with women all day, which they do, and argue with each other a little bit and try to figure this shit out, we'll be better for us. But all we want to do is blame women for whatever they doing, just like women blame us for whatever we doing. It's the same feminine bullshit. So I understand what you're saying, but these red pill dudes do be whining and bitches about women when they be the damn problem.
That's fair to say that some of them do, but where do you think the ones that are getting the laws changed get their information and data from? They get it from the men that are speaking up. It's not just them experiencing something and they're going to go get things done. Men are speaking to one another. Men have been, and I think it's disingenuous to try to write them all off that way because that's not true.
I'm not writing nobody off. I'm just making a statement.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but and your statement is false because it comes with the pretense that dudes are just online bitching. They're not just on. No, they're not. Because then you can say that you're just online bitching, and I'm just online bitching, and Humble Dad just be online bitching, and the ladies just be online bitching. On this panel, we all just online bitching. If that's the case, because no, we all having a conversation and we compare notes and we say, hey, look, this is going on over here. Damn, I didn't know you was experiencing that. Yeah, it happened to me as well. And then you get some people who are in those spaces and they say, hey, I see that a lot of men are experiencing this. How do we go about changing it? You know what I mean? So I think I think it's wrong to write them all off or write that community off because, like I said, there is some good and bad in every community. There is a group of men that have been bitching, but I wouldn't say that all of them are or the majority of them are. All of them.
You're doing not all women thing with men, not all men.
Bro, I didn't. You heard me get through the whole thing. I said not all of them, and I said I wouldn't say majority of them are. So if it's not the majority of them, then I'm not going to sit here and look at that as a problem. What they're doing is actually working.
Okay, the opposites say they're bitching is all I'm saying. So men stop bitching so much and
to you
do some work.
To you, but they are doing the work.
Well, perception is reality.
But
I have the right to my perception, right, Sweeney?
No, not if it goes against
I don't have
reality.
the right to my own perception.
Not if it goes against reality.
My perception is
if your perception is all of y'all are bitching, then no, that's not reality.
Well, that's kind of crazy. So you're being disingenuous and you're dismissing my way of seeing things.
Well, your way of seeing things, you can have an opinion and you can have a perception.
No.
May be wrong.
It's about perspective and not
so right now, how y'all communicating is not being effective.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
he's bitching and I'm bitching, right?
Right.
We're both bitching. He's bitching about them bitching, and I'm bitching about you bitching about them bitching.
Right, and so that's when it
stop
comes
bitching about me bitching, talking about them.
This is why y'all need to go read some books.
Right. See, that's what I was about to say, Humble Dad. I don't
No,
give
you
y'all
what?
ass
No, you
3
what?
books. Hold on, Sweeney, you want to sit here and I don't give y'all ass 3 books. And so I wasn't up here bitching. I was up here giving information that is helpful to these men.
I think they're okay.
They're not.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna leave it at that. So there's no way right now that y'all going to be able to change each other's mind, right? So that's where that's what I was telling y'all before. Like that's where you see a maturity of an individual that's able to dialogue well. Because I know I struggle with that as well, trying to get my point across and wanting somebody to come over to my side. Well, it's not gonna always be the case. At some point in time, you're just gonna have to be like, I see your point, I just disagree with it,
and that's it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, okay,
Sweeney.
And there you go.
There you go. Being a bitch.
Hey, did everybody get the?
We gotta stop it, Mr. Lego. We gotta stop the bitching, man.
Because we're gonna move on at the last point. Mr. White, did you get to go? Did you get to say everything you wanted to say?
So I had a question for Sweeney.
Why you keep bitching?
Now you're trying to use my joke. Come on, man.
Like if you was to say percentage of consumable content, how much of it do you think is productive, resolution based versus sensational?
I can be honest with you. I've seen a lot of red pill and a lot of manosphere content. And there's probably only 2 channels and maybe 2 pages that I've seen where I said that shit is absolutely unproductive. There's several channels where I see where I'm like, hey, I can see a lot of things working in that community. But we all know the 2 channels that I'm probably thinking about, Fresh and Fit. They not doing too well over there. I don't think they got too much of anything done. And there's this Facebook, there's this Instagram page that I seen called Red Pill something. I don't think they get much done over there. But however, when I see Manosphere Highlight Daily, when I seen Kevin Samuels' channel, when I seen the whatever podcast, they have some decent conversations on there from time to time. There's another guy on there, Butter Bachelor. Sometimes he says some wild shit, but for the most part, you know what I mean? He speaks up. And there's a lot of things that I would say that a lot of men would agree on. Father's Rights on Instagram. There's a couple of Father's Lives Matter. These are all Manosphere, Red Pill kind of channels and everything like that. And I would say that most of them are productive.
And throat chakras matter. That channel, they be talking about some good shit too.
I appreciate that. I submit a idea. How about each one of those like movements or channels adopt a cause and then use their collective brain power and manpower to try and change one law or an actual specific issue for each one. That way we probably more can be accomplished as opposed to the energy diverted to talking about the problem.
I think that a lot of things happen where most of us just talk. That's the reality. When it comes to laws, when it comes to most of us just talk. Then there's a group of people that listen to the people that talk, and then they come up with ways to actually solve the problems of their group. Because you can tell by the way that we participate in politics, by the way that we participate in no matter what it is, majority of people just talk. They talk their shit, they have their conversations, and then there's somebody who has some real influence, some real conversation, or some real tap into politics and things like that actually speaks for the group. So I think there's several channels that has actually done it. Like I said, Father's Rights Matter, and I think Father's Lives Matter or something like that. Both of those have started, organizations and things like that has gone on to try to change laws and family court laws and things like that. But that's a slow process. But
So it sounds like basically you saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you pretty much gonna confirm what I said is that basically what what Marcus is saying is true. Most of us just talk, but there are a lot of groups that are coming together and comparing notes and going out and creating their own causes and things like that. Same way that Black Lives Matter did. That started as a hashtag on Instagram. On Twitter. That's not how it started, but how it started was different. Now, where it led to, we can debate that, but how it started, that was just a group of people who had a bunch of problems.
A white man named Soros.
All right, cool. We transition. So what it sounds like is change your algorithm. That's what that sounds like. So if you If you feel like the things that you're hearing are so repetitive, then that means that you're not you're clicking on what those things are. So you should change your algorithm, right? All right. So and look for solutions based content. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy
Or
gonna do.
give solutions in your own content. That part too.
Oh, that's a fact, because you know that's what we do on my channel for sure. All right, so we almost done. This is the last topic of discussion. It is the main topic, but before we get there, we're going to read some of these super chats. All right, we got Hink the Basement, $2. Kayla came back to get them Firestone tires. Mills 36, $2. Kayla extra chocolate tonight. Yes. Dub Will, Mr. Let Go said, dude in the video gave a word salad, then gave us a word salad, and ended up agreeing with the dude at the end. Get to the point, Ninja.
Just talking.
And Mill 36, $2 said, too much toxic masculinity going on the panel.
Right, calling people gay and whatnot, man. What's wrong with y'all?
And then last but not
He
least,
called himself gay.
Rojo's Custom Car Therapy, $2. Let go a
Don't say that out loud.
Okay. Hashtag Mr. Flip Flop. Okay. My eyes, I couldn't see that.
That's gonna get this channel. That's gonna get us this video demonetized.
We don't want to do that at all. All
No
right.
yellow tags tonight.
Oh, for sure. All right, here's the last topic of the evening. Here we go.
When you say nuclear family, Princella.
Okay, well, the nuclear family is basically the centralization of what it takes to build the United States corporation, what the United States corporation is founded on.
And is it safe to say that that's a man, a woman, and his family all under one home residence?
Yes.
Okay.
A man, woman, and children.
Got it.
Yes.
So it sounds like you also have opinions about that, because I've even heard you go as far to say that the nuclear family is pretty much it's not relevant. It's outdated.
Well, I won't say it's outdated. I will say that it was an artificial creation to begin with. It's not natural. And the only reason for a nuclear family is to support the artificial creation of the United States, which is a corporation. So that's the backbone of the United States corporation. That is not the backbone of nature and how things were naturally meant to be. The true family is a community. The nuclear family cuts that off and makes women independent and having them to carry the majority of the domestic duties alone, because the male is not wired or capable of sharing these duties with her. The woman becomes extremely stressed out, where she's trying to beg and force the male to help her in a way that he's not designed to help her, which is the reason why there are constant issues in nuclear family setups.
You believe that men and women should not live together in the same residence?
Absolutely.
They should not.
They should not.
Okay, so a man should not be living in the home where he raises his children.
No, let me tell you, there is separation pretty much everywhere. Everybody understands that there should be separation, because if you didn't, then no one would be complaining about men going into women's bathrooms, right? Everybody would just share a bathroom. Everybody would share locker rooms. People understand that there should be a healthy separation. And what happens is when you cohabitate, you put pressure on both the male and the female, which causes dysfunction in the house, because it's going against both parties' nature. So the way the male's brain is wired is not conducive to the way women function, and vice versa. Men telling me they've been married for an extended period of time does nothing for me. I would like to hear women speak all of the joys of being married for so long without the turmoil that comes with it. I don't do.
Wait, so I just want to confirm. So are you saying that relationships should not come with turmoil?
Well, it's gonna come with turmoil if you're dealing with a man. It's gonna come with it, and so women have to be taught to accept that and put up with it, right? And this causes, because the feminine is the nurturer. It is the sustainer of life.
So there's no turmoil between female relationships.
there is not the type of turmoil that men typically put women through, okay? Because there is a nature about the man.
Shout out to Stud Muffin.
So didn't they just ask those women in those same-sex relationships why they divorced, and it aligned literally with why they divorce men, or what men complain about in relationships and what women complain about in relationships? When they asked these women why they divorced, they said simply the same. They said essentially the same thing: lack of communication, infidelity. What was another one? Not feeling appreciated, and there was a number of other things, but it was all pretty much the same reasons why women tend to also divorce men. So I think she's just simply wrong. Why do we give people space to just say just wrong shit? Well, no, I ain't gonna ask that question. I'll take that question back.
What's the reason?
Because I think it's because if I'm allowed to speak in this space, then why should she be able to?
Yeah. And I think it's important. Like I made a small video today. I think it's important for everybody to say whatever they want to say so we can hear where the dumb people are. You know what I'm saying? Because the more you are aware of who's saying what, the more you know who to stay away from or to go towards. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective. But what's your perspective on the what she said and your thought process on the nuclear family? We'll start with what do you think about what she said? Who wants to go?
Oh, well, I thought you was asking me. You can let everybody else go first. I'll talk on the last.
So, Priscilla doesn't believe. She believes in a higher power, but she doesn't believe in God. I think I watched that interview. I believe she said that she grew up Christian, and then I don't know if she converted or now she just don't believe in God or whatever, right? So family comes from God, and the union of marriage comes from him as well. It also says in the word that if you can't marry, don't do it. Like, just don't do it. A lot of people are not equipped for it because it says it brings about its own issues. So it's written what's going to happen if you join with someone, but it's also pretty much a book to go by to actually have your relationship resemble that in some type of way. So she speaks from science and all these, data and facts. But at the end of the day, being married with someone means you are blending into one. And yes, men and women do think differently, but that's the joy of a man and a woman. If you have two women in a relationship, y'all thinking the same. When you guys get into a heated blow up, my mom always say you can't have two women in the kitchen. So that's a no-go. Okay. So I don't know what she thinks is going to be so much greater with a woman, because it's actually going to be a lot worse. You can't even produce children with this woman. So what nuclear family is that? But to say that a relationship won't flourish because of a man is crazy to me, because men have built pretty much the entire world. So if you're saying that you can't get along with a man, just say that. If you're saying you can't flourish in a relationship with a man, just say that. But don't put out this rhetoric that relationships won't work because of a man. Is it harder? Yes, it's harder before it gets better because you're joining two worlds. So you have to learn how to communicate with one another. You do have to set boundaries. You do have to learn how to mesh with the other person. That's not going to be an easy task all the time. It's just not. So my thing is, if you can't get along with a man, just say that. But don't make it seem like all the women, she says she want to hear from women. Well, if women have these horror stories with being with men, maybe they shouldn't have been with that man to begin with. Maybe they shouldn't have accepted the role as wife to begin with. Because some people get married and they've never seen a marriage, and sometimes they struggle. They're like, oh, I didn't think it was going to be like this. And I got to do all the washing and I got to do all this. Well, what did you do before you got married? Who did your laundry? Who did the dishes? Who cooked? What happened before you got married? Why are you not still doing these things that you were supposedly doing before you got married? What happened to that person? Was that person ever there? Maybe you shouldn't have got married. Maybe you should have learned some of these things in your singleness. That's why the singleness season is so important, because you learn routine of how to do things. It shouldn't change when you get into a relationship. You should just be learning how to blend and work with that person. But the rhetoric she puts out there of, as soon as a man come along, everything is to hell, is just crazy to me. It's crazy. And it's destructive, because now you have all these women who are unhappy or tired, not knowing how to revitalize their marriage or revitalize themselves, because it probably can get daunting doing the same thing over and over and over again. But that's also discipline. It's either you have it or you don't. And there are days you're going to get tired. There are days that it's going to feel like a lot. But keep living. Get through the night. But don't allow some woman to come in and make you feel like your nuclear family is wrong. Make you feel like, oh, this man is making your life a living hell. Well, what are you doing? Because it takes two. So I just don't like her rhetoric. I don't like her message. There are some things that kind of make sense, and then there are just some things that are just like, where are you coming from with this? Men and women have to get to a place where they can understand each other. Forget everybody else. You have to understand each other. And once you get each other down packed, that's all you should need. And that comes with learning each other, meaning you have to learn that man and that man has to learn you. Everyone is different. So yes, we know that men don't think the same way as women. But if you want to be joined with this person, get on their level.
Yo, Homer Dad, I just gotta say this. I don't like how JR added this broad to the end of the show. This is supposed to be the meat of the show, right? The best part of the damn show. And you got this dumbass broad up here talking about this stupid shit on the show. And then is a pastor, apparently, I don't know who the dude is, sitting across from her, staring at her like an idiot, like he ain't got nothing to say. And she's up here babbling about this dumb shit. And for us to actually be on this show and making this the main part of the show, yeah, I don't like that. So I don't know what JR was talking about. And because of that, I'm going to protest and get the hell out of here. So I'll talk to y'all later. Like, do not have this dumbass broad on talking about dumbass shit on this show, because the more we put her out there like she's smart, the more she's going to look smart. Like, get this dumb broad out of here and let's talk about some community shit. We're talking about a nuclear family perspective, and you got this broad up here? Oh, hell no. I'll talk to y'all later.
So why don't you just give your perspective on the nuclear family?
I don't want to, because I don't want to give it any energy, because this whole thing is stupid. We're talking about a nuclear family perspective, and you got this broad up here? No, I'm out. Fuck that.
Okay. Lady Di, what you got?
Oh man. I have a lot of opinions on what he said and Princella, but just to answer the question or to talk about what she's saying, what she's trying to do is she's basically saying that the way how men are designed, she just doesn't like it, right? And she doesn't like how men and women are supposed to make it one and make it work, because obviously men and women are different, but that's the point. Men, woman, so it's two different people. I don't know why she wants it to be the same. So I know she is in a relationship with a woman right now, so I understand that she, has a different outlook, but at the same time, you can't change what people or how people are designed to be. Just like with her, she's naturally a lady. So, her thoughts are going to be different. The way how she is now is not how she was back in the day. And I'm talking about how she changed. She was married before. She was with a man. And it seems like she had trauma in her marriage. And now all men ain't shit, right? It seems like she's talking about a specific man. She's saying what she mentioned was men and women shouldn't be together because women are holding all the strains, right? She's talking about the cooking and the cleaning. Cooking and cleaning is simple shit. Okay, you have to eat and you got to be clean to stay healthy. So the fact that she's complaining about women complaining that they have to do it every fucking day, to me is stupid, because you have to do it every day. Now, every marriage is different, because there are married couples where I see men cooking and cleaning and women are not, and they both are working. So it depends on your marriage. It depends on what you want out of it. I know women who don't want to work at all. They want to be a housewife. So that's what they go ahead and do. And there's men who, like I said, they like to cook. So they're cooks, right? So it depends on what you want. So if you want that housewife life, you get a man who got money to provide for that. If you don't want that type of life, right? And the stuff that she's talking about, because she don't believe women should be in those spaces cooking and cleaning and doing homework and all the stuff that the household needs, then she obviously shouldn't pick a man like that. There are men out here that don't want that life either. They want their woman to go and work. They are going to help 50-50 with everything. So you go ahead and pick a man that's going to help you pick out the next nicest vacation, pick out all of these things that you want these men to start doing that you say they naturally can't do. Men can naturally do that if they choose to. But she has to understand that everybody has their own life and they want to choose it the best way that fits their lifestyle. And a lot of people are basing it off of Bible principles. So Bible principles usually is man is working, woman is not. Men are the providers, woman is the nurturer. Why? Because naturally women are nurturers. Naturally, men are masculine, so they do dangerous things. When they leave the house, it's dangerous. They have to go ahead and risk their life to provide. So to change that whole dynamic is not natural. So I understand what she's trying to do. I understand why she doesn't like it. It's just a bad taste that she had, and she wants all people to be like this. She wants to change the world, right? And that type of community, she just wants to change it. I don't want this. I don't like this. People are getting divorced. People are cheating on each other. All of this stuff. So don't get married. Don't be with no man, but you be with a lady and you're going to have the same problems. So it seems like at the end of it, she might stay with the person she's with for a little bit. But at the end, I think she just wants to be by herself. And she wants to eventually just date whoever she wants, whenever she wants, and just live that lifestyle of not even having any companionship. Because I don't think being with a lady is going to give you that. I think you being by yourself is going to give you what you want. And I think she's trying to change that and make that the nuclear, and it won't be a family. It'll just be a community. That's what she said, right? She don't want men, women to be together. She don't want women and a lady and a lady to be together. She's just doing it because it's something to do. But at the end of the day, she's going to want to be by herself. Everybody be by themselves, still have children to keep the world populating, but be by yourself, live by yourself, and just have that single lifestyle for the rest of the life. That's what I see, and that's not going to work.
Yeah, kind of like what she, and I'm gonna explain the chart I just pulled up in a second. Kind of what she's, and I agree with you, Lady Di. What she's alluding to is that basically everybody gets to be individuals, but then the community helps raise whatever, you know what I mean, helps you with whatever decisions that you make. So, but what she doesn't realize is that the community came from family first. It didn't go the other way around where there was a bunch of individuals and then people were community. It was individual to family, then community. And she keeps talking about the US as if we're unique to the rest of the world. The rest of the world also has nuclear families, for by and large. There are some families that there are some cultures that allow polygamy and things like that, but even then, it's still almost nuclear family because he still has to be able to provide for all of those women equally. You know what I mean? So, but to explain the chart, she basically said that a lot of women are taking on the burden of the household, and that's why they're unhappy, right? Well, I want to know what decade she's referring to. Because if you're talking about the modern time, men have adapted and evolved. Because if you look at this chart, you look at the total work time between men and women in a household, right? Total work time is 54 hours men compared to 53 hours for women. Paid work, i.e. what happens outside the household, men work 38 hours on average compared to 21 hours for women. Household, men take on about 9 hours versus 17 hours for women. Child care is about 7 hours versus 13 hours. Leisure time, 27 hours versus 25 hours, right? What that tells you is that we do what's necessary for the family. So if one person is outside the house working, the other person has no choice but to be inside the house and do the housework, or vice versa. We naturally work that way. What happened is that women asked to work and they had the right to work. They've been given the right to work. So now with you having to work outside the house, that naturally made men have to take on more duties at home. We've been doing it. I don't know what she's talking about or what she's referring to, because what's happening today is you see men take on more household duties, but it's in retrospect to how many hours they work outside the house. So I don't get why she keeps spitting these stats that, or I hear women all the time talking about some, oh, we take on the lion's share of the work. Yeah, because he takes on the lion's share of the work outside the house. That's how we've always worked. But I guarantee if you ask those same women, because I've asked plenty of women myself, all the ones that complain about doing the most work in the house and how much work women have to do in the house. I said, then change places with the man. You go to work full time and let him be a full time stay at home dad. Oh, I can't take care of no man. Well, then shut the fuck up. If you don't want to, if you can't completely role reverse with him, then shut the fuck up. Because basically what you're asking for is an unfair deal. You want him to be the lion's share of the work outside the house while also taking on 50% of the work inside the house. How does that sound fair to anybody? Because y'all are complaining, because these women are complaining about the same thing. Oh, I got to go to work, but I also got to do half the house. I got to do a lot of the housework. But you're expecting them to do the same thing. When you hear these women talk about they want to live soft girl lifestyles, that's exactly what they're talking about. Oh, I want to be able to use, if I go to work, I want to use my money for me. I don't want to pay any bills, but I also want him to help me with half the work in the house. Is that not a fair deal? When naturally, if you look at this chart, we balance each other out. Naturally, we balance each other out, but we have so many people out here looking for unfair deals. You want what you want and you want it all. You can't have it all. Life is about choices and trade-offs. You can't have it all. So I don't know what Princella is getting at. I don't know what kind of world she's speaking to. I don't think that world, there's never been a time where that world existed and it worked.
She talking to the women who are tired of being wives. That's who she's talking to.
And that's
she's
fair.
talking to the women who have thrown in the towel and say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more.
And the thing is,
she's talking to the divorce rate going even higher than what it is. That's who she's talking to.
So my question is, what do you say to the ones that are single that's complaining? Because all of them are complaining. She wants to talk about this. And the thing is, those women are walking away from their marriages. So it ain't like they're stuck. They walk away and then they complain. But then what do you say to the women that are also complaining about being single and ain't got nobody to help them with the bills, and ain't got nobody out here to help them with their children, or ain't got nobody out here to help them with the rent, ain't got nobody out here to help them with food, ain't got nobody out here to help them with their kids? What do you say to those women, Princella? You getting complaints on all sides, but you only want to talk about the ones that divorced, or you want to shit on the women that are married. You're not talking to, you don't want to address the entire problem as a whole because you don't have an answer for those women. Those women that say, hey, Princella, my bills are $60,000, my bills are $8,000 a month. I only make $5,000. What should I do with that, Princella? What's your answer to that, Princella? Talk to those women, because they'll tell you a whole different life, a life that you're not speaking of. You're talking about all these women that's making all this money. Most of them ain't making that money. So I would invite her to speak to regular women about how hard life is out there without somebody to do it with.
Yeah, one of the questions that was asked to her on that interview was for her to go and interview married women, and she didn't want to really take that challenge based on how she
She didn't want to
Communicate.
challenge me because I tried to challenge her and she didn't want to challenge me. And I'm married because she already know, like, I'm happily married too. So I understand what she's saying. I've seen people get divorced and have terrible, terrible relationships. I help married couples currently now, and I see the dynamic is just communication. It's communication. It's missed. You got with somebody and y'all didn't talk about this stuff. And you with them, now you got a child and you stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stupid immaturity going on why these relationships are not working. It's not because a man is naturally this way and the lady is naturally that way. It's not, has nothing to do with that. It's about what y'all set from the beginning. No one's setting anything. They just sleeping with each other. Oops, I got pregnant. Damn, let me marry her because that's the right thing to do. Damn, I don't even like her like that. Damn, I don't like him like that. That's what's going on. People don't even want to be together. They don't even want to be committed. So let's talk about the real issue. What she talking about is that's not it. You talking about women complaining. I hear women complain, wives, all the time, and it's bullshit. Most of it is bullshit. Some of it is accurate. Okay, because there's some men that they choosing that's not right for them. They're not right to be a husband, but they got with him and they got 4 damn kids with him. And then you got women who has a good man, but she don't understand how to make it work with him. So all it is understanding what marriage is, number one, and how to make it work. It has nothing to do with, damn, he don't wash the dishes. It's fucking dishes. Like, are you serious right now? If it's that serious, go get a better paying job and go get a maid. Now let's see what your real issues are. Is it going to be because he's not washing dishes? Let's talk about that. Get a maid, get somebody, get a fucking tutor. You don't have to teach your child. You got YouTube University and you have teachers that could professionally get your child where they need to be. Put your kid in a better school system and let's see if you really want to be married to this man that you're with. It has nothing to do with all this materialistic shit that she's talking about. And she would know that because she's married, but she's upset. She's upset at her ex. She's upset. She said he's a good dad, and that means he probably was a good husband too. But it didn't work out. Now she's lesbian. So she always wanted to mess with women. That ain't nothing new. Most people that are lesbians now had that thought from a long time ago. They just probably never really messed with it like that. But I know for a fact I'm not one. And I never thought about that stuff. And I'm not. Even if I, let's say, was to get a divorce, I'm not going to a lady because I'm not in that space. So I think that she just needs to be honest and just say, I don't like men. And that's it. I don't like my dad. I don't like my auntie. Not my auntie, my uncle, my brother, my cousin. I don't like my fucking gym teacher. I don't like none of them. I don't like men, period. Luckily, she ain't got no son. I don't like none of that. And just be real. That's it. It's okay.
You know what, Lady Di?
One person, like
Hold on real quick, Sweeney, so we can get the other 2 guys in, and then
my
if
bad.
you have
Go ahead,
something to
Doc.
say, then you can. Any Trail Smooth or Mr. White, would you like to chime in?
Yeah. So I found it very peculiar that they would ask a woman who fared so poorly at the nuclear family that she changed her sexual orientation about the nuclear family. In my opinion, she has no authority to speak to that. She lost her authority to speak on that when she decided she was going to change her sexual orientation. She naturally has a disdain for the nuclear family because it didn't work for her. You ever had somebody who just really sucked at something and then they just say, oh, I hate that game. It's corny. She failed miserably, and that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But to try to make everybody else miserable with you, it's not cool, right? I'll say this. I ended up debating this lady for 7 hours and 46 minutes. And she went and brought all these women, right, to call up, and they were, making it seem like I'm some type of a misogynist and every man cheats and just crazy stuff. And the women who were speaking to me, they all were battered, abused, had horrible relationships. They all had serious trauma, and they had somewhere to run to. That's the common denominator. They all dealt with trauma, including her, and never really dealt with it. So now they're just projecting all of this nonsense onto everyone. Men are capable of love. Like, come on, bro. What are you even doing? crazy. To go to Sweetie's point, right, where she tried to make us this was some prize from America when the nuclear family is literally in the Bible, in the Quran. You see stories about with the nuclear family. It wasn't called the nuclear family, but yes, that's how it's been constructed since
it's in every religion.
Since it's being recorded. Yes, right. So that point is stupid as well. I don't understand why we would listen to her about that. I really don't feel like we should even take anything that she says seriously about families, because for one, she's extremely jaded. For her to be as well read as she is, her interpretations are outrageous. From what she read and the outcome that she has, it's mind-boggling, because I've read a lot of the same things and I had a completely different interpretation from what it is that she gathered from reading some of the same books, and that's crazy. So I don't understand that part. I would have not asked her anything about families or anything like that, because it's you can't speak to that. That's weird to me. But there was one more point I really wanted to make. That was because she just said so many crazy. Oh, here's the other thing, right? She is talking about the nuclear family like it's a very bad thing, right? Like we're gonna be able to do something different. There's no evidence of that. But what there is evidence of is that people who decide to go outside of the nuclear family structure, those are where the most degenerates are comprised of. Period. All the data suggests that the nuclear family is your best bet. They stomp on every single metric, whether it's socially, whether it's academically, drug abuse, their future relationships with the opposite sex, everything, crush everything. So that data is irrefutable. So whatever, she could say what she wants, and those who have an air that they just want to hear something, they just want to be soothed. They just want to have someone to tell them that they weren't wrong. It's not your fault. It's man's fault. It's their fault. They suck. They can't even love you. They're incapable of love. That's what they really wanted. That's what they need. Well, that's what they think they need. That's the complete opposite of what they actually need. But that's what they're getting. They had somewhere to run to. It's like a drug. It's not the right answer, but it is an answer. And it's your way of coping with that trauma rather than actually dealing with it head on the way you should. And it's toxic, and it's a dangerous thing. And in my opinion, once people understand that there is no end game, which she never mentioned that entire time. I've never heard her ever speak of the end game. Where are you leading us to? What are we really gonna? How are we really gonna survive? Like a lot of these women, when they really sit down and then when it gets quiet, and Princella turn off, and you still there by yourself, and the other side of your bed is empty, and you don't have a father for your children hanging around, it's gonna get to you. You're not gonna be able to shake that feeling. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah, so I think the reason why they brought her on was to kind of expose her, and in my opinion, what I think that they thought was going to happen is that that the pastor was going to provide clarity to the scenario. Like I seen what he was trying to do, but I think the audience is not mature to see things from a biblical perspective. And so the audience doesn't understand that you cannot talk to somebody that doesn't see the Bible as a reference point for them and try to argue the Bible with them.
Right.
You
It
know
doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that. And so he was trying to convey to her that I see your point. However, the way that I see it is that the nuclear family is what the Bible says will be the best option. That's what it was. And so they brought her on to try to expose her. But the thing was that they gave her too much airtime. And so she was able to spew out her message more so than everybody else. Mr. White, on you. It's Marcus, right? I keep calling you Mr. White. Marcus, on you.
Either one work. I'm good, but yeah, it's Marcus. After hearing you say they gave it too much airtime, I hate to ask this question. Could you replay the video? Because I
Oh,
wanted
come
to.
on, man.
I'm not replaying that video, bro. That's 3 minutes long, homie.
Oh shit!
It's
Well,
3 minutes
I had
long.
I had a conversation with her too. And as soon as I realized that, as to your point, that she's not gonna value or equate Abrahamic religion as the cornerstone of how her framework of understanding goes, the rest of that conversation, to me, at that point, it was no debating or whatever. It really was just me listening to what she would think her ideal society was. So one of the things, like, I disagree with everything she said in regards to the nuclear family being a social construct, right? Like everything in regards to that. But when I asked her about what her solution was, she said that women and men could date and that's not be a problem, but they wouldn't force men to be in monogamous relationships. So they would use them for like breeding or whatever. Like, and if you wanted to be in your kid's life, then you would. So the issue of when men are like, I don't want to be on child support. In her ideal scenario, there would be no child support. So it kind of sounded like there's a converging point. Again, I don't agree with her full-on solution, right? But it kind of sounded like some of the things that men are upset about, especially in the space, her scenario kind of provided some solutions to. I'd be remiss to not like keep it real and say that. She like, I've heard men complain about they don't want to be forced into monogamy. Her solution had deference to that. I heard him like, this lady kept a kid that I didn't want, and I don't want no responsibility to. And her solution, it had a deference to that as well. So I will have to watch the video so I can answer specifically. But since y'all don't want to play it, that's just my general thoughts. I think it's interesting though. I look at it as a thought experiment because everybody who has a different perspective provides us another chance to see something from somebody else's eyes. As long as we can not be triggered by it or understand it, this person doesn't have the power to just change the world. So it's no threat. And that's how I view it. Now, it could be viewed in other ways because maybe more people are malleable and able to be manipulated into that. But the way I view it, it's like that's her opinion. Like that's how it's, the information she's interpreting. That's how she wants to see it. Do I agree with it? No. But yeah.
You had a
So
man. I just want to. I'm gonna go to you, real precious, for sure. I don't know if you're gonna say the same thing, but it is interesting that you said that because in the whole video, the host said to her that she seems to be the opposite. She seems to be pretty much with the red pill movement, but just from a woman's perspective. That's what they said. So you kind of spot on what they were saying. Real precious, what you got?
So where I did agree with her at in that interview is when she said that men need to be coached by men and that women need to focus on themselves until they actually get with a man, and her and that man have the same, they're on the same level as far as coaching or being at the same level where they can coexist. Now, she did say that in the video, and I did agree with that because I do think that men need to be coached by men. Men need to take other men underneath their wings and say, hey, bro, like, I think you messing up. I see a lot of potential in you. I see you try over and over again. You might get knocked down. You might get discouraged, and let me be your accountability partner, or let me, coach you and going into a different direction so your life don't have to look like maybe your cousins or people in your family. So I do agree with that. I do agree that men should coach men and that women need to really deal with their traumas before they get with these men, because you can't blame a man for something that you didn't work out yourself. And a lot of women do have the tendency of not working out their traumas, getting with the man, and then at the end of that experience saying, oh, well, all men aren't ish. And it's like, no, maybe you didn't deal with some things, and maybe he has some things he need to work out too. But at the end of the day, women know when they go into something broken. They know this. And even if they don't know it while they're going through it, they know something is not right. But instead of detaching themselves from other people and getting themselves better and getting themselves in a better space, they'll bleed on people that didn't cut them. They'll blame everybody else, like, oh, well, you ain't ish, you did this to me, you were supposed to protect me, you were supposed to do X, Y, and Z, when maybe back in the day something happened to her and she felt like nobody protected her. So now the man that she with is now taking the blame of something she probably should have talked about or expressed herself about. And that's what we talked about, communication in the other one, and how sometimes that does take those baby steps, because being great is something that a lot of women don't talk about, something that a lot of men don't talk about, because it happens to them as well. But when you get into these relationships and now it's time to communicate and now it's time to the two to become one, you don't know how to become one. You're bumping heads, you're repelling each other. You're naturally not even meshing with this person, and you're trying to force it and you don't know why. And it's because you didn't deal with what you were supposed to deal with, and maybe that man didn't have a male coach to coach him. So when she talks about the two natures being different, she's right. The two natures are different. But as two individuals, you need to know that and be able to know what to do and have the tools and the resources to be able to say, okay, I know that I'm like this. You know that you're like this. This is what I haven't dealt with. This is what that's when you are like trains passing in the night. That's when you bicker about little things like the dishes and, sneakers by the door. That's when those little things feel like ginormous things, because you didn't talk about those intimate things before you got into a relationship or with that person per se. So that's what I do agree with Priscilla on. Men need to coach men, and women need to deal with what they have going on before trying to join with the man.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with that. So the parts that I disagree on, I think are probably similar to you, as far as that a nuclear family is not the ideal as a social construct. But I do think that we should go back to more of a village concept where everybody in the extended family pitches in, because kids benefit when they have more loving people around them as opposed to less. So that would be the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather, the aunts, the uncles, actually trying to take an active role in trying to raise those kids. So when I think of a nuclear family, I think of not just man, woman, and child. I think of in the community aspect also. So it's the growth that allows for different personalities to intermingle with the child, and they gain something and get a jewel from each different person, understanding different ways that you resolve conflict amongst different personalities. I think that it's a disservice to remove men and women in a house with children, because the yin and yang that we provide for each other, the child may never get to see those things, and those things are tantamount to being able to have a balanced life, in my opinion, where you're not lacking one thing or other, or holding extreme disdain for one thing or the other, right? And in doing that, what's I find kind of ironic is, if I'm not mistaken, I could be quoting this wrong, but I think she believes in masculine and feminine energy, and she has adopted a form of masculine energy. So even in a female to female relationship, there's still the need for that masculine energy, which would prove that it's an essential building block of the relationship. So I find that very interesting.
Hey, that's phenomenal. Hey, we gonna end on Sweeney. Go ahead, bro.
Let me go ahead and get my timer started. All right. So the problem with what she's saying is that all those things stem from a nuclear family to begin with. You can't work backwards. You can't expect the community to wrap itself around someone. The reason why we have such a breakdown is because of the breakdown of the nuclear family. That's why the community isn't involved, is because of that very breakdown. So even like I think what she fails to understand is the very type of world that she wants to create is the very world that the women are complaining to her about, that it's already exists. Man not wanting to be in their children's lives, man wanting to walk away, man not wanting to participate. That's the world that the women are complaining about. So to say, okay, that's the world I want to create, it goes against the very thing that the women say that they want. They want the men. They just want their men to do the things that's necessary in the family. And that's what we used to do until we let all hell break loose. All the solutions to these problems start with the nuclear family. Having a village starts with the nuclear family. Having a community starts with the nuclear family. And then you branch out from there. When your aunts and uncles and all of that was involved, that all happened because there was a nuclear family. Your aunt, you had all of them raised in the same house, and then they went out, made their own families, and everybody would come back and enjoy each other and have lunch and dinner and Sunday dinners and whatnot. And then also one last thing, I only got 5 seconds. One last thing. She spoke to something about, oh shit. Hold on real quick. She said something about how she hears so many married women complain, but she never hears married men complain. And she wants to start hearing married women talk about the benefits of marriage, right? The problem with how she's trying to go about that is that you create the environment that you're in. So when you create an environment that is okay for nothing but scorned and pissed off women to come to you and speak, that is all you're going to hear. And to balance that out, you're going to get pushback from men, and they're going to speak to how great marriage is because you're speaking against it. So you're going to get a bunch of men that speak for it. So I would invite her to actually speak to people across the board and make the space safe enough for women to come in and speak about marriage in a positive light without being called a pick-me, without being called I don't know the other terms that they try to refer to them as. But if you create that space and you create a space that's okay for women to come in and be open about the success of their relationship, because we all experience ups and downs, then I think she would get a broader picture of how marriage actually is versus what she thinks it is based off of the women that respond to her. Because Trev said something that was interesting. He had a 7-hour long conversation with him, and all the callers were all scorned women. If I'm Priscilla and that's all I see, I would have the same viewpoint on marriage. If my marriage didn't work out and I go out and I create a platform based on marriages not working out, and then I invite people to come in and just tell me all they horror stories, that's what I would assume marriage is too, a bunch of horror stories. And I end on that.
I'm just curious. It could be me. What was the point of the timer, Sweeney?
I tried.
Was it like you trying to figure out if you could have done it? Is that what that was?
I had to see. I tried, man. It was. You can't say it wasn't for lack of trying.
Listen, when you hit the 5-second mark, you thought you were going to say something in 5 seconds.
I tried. I was like, God damn, I ain't got enough time.
Like it was 15 seconds.
No, hey, listen, he went into his Southern Baptist preacher method. He said, hey, you got one more point. Just got one more. Okay, 2 more points.
Y'all know it's crazy. On my own show, I don't talk as much.
No. You ain't getting none of it. Okay, here we go. So it's been real. It's been fun. It's been dope. I appreciate y'all for letting me moderate. If you need to say something else, you know what I'm saying, make your own clip and then send it to the JR. Maybe he'll put it up. Okay. Make sure y'all go check out The Real Precious. Lady Di for sure. Her and her husband always doing the do. And then let's see what he's saying. All right, bet. And then Sweeney, he always got something to say over here. And you still on King Talk?
Yeah.
Okay. As well as Trail Smooth doing his thing. Make sure y'all support these people, man. And Mr. The Real M White. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully I did well. Gave everybody enough time to talk and do your thing. JR, what you got? All right. Until next time. Oh, yeah, me, right? You can check me out on Humble Dad Podcast Monday nights at 9. You know what I'm saying? Central Standard Time, if you will. Monday, we're talking about what the top questions women should be asking men. That's what we're talking about on Monday. All right. Until next time, we out here. JR, you got to take us out because I don't know where the button at, bro. You got it, JR?
Good job.
Probably somewhere sleeping.
While we waiting on it, then I can just get this out. Sweeney, do you think that Sweeney, do you think that there is an I talked about yin and yang earlier? Is there a direct inverse to a place where people are talking negatively about marriage, calling the women pick-me's? What would be the inverse to that? Simp and men talking negatively about marriage?
Yeah. I think absolutely. That's why I say all the time, it's a balance of probability. When you see, like, we all have aspects of our community that has that toxic ideology. But when you look at the majority, most of us want the same thing.
I just think that further reciprocates the point that even when we trying to push each other further away, we just create the exact opposite on the polar end because we are supposed to be conjoined. So you can create the positive polar end or the negative polar end. It's really up to you and how you manipulate your reality.
All right, that's what's up. I think this might be it. Let me see. Good night.
That didn't work. We still live.
You gotta hit the end show.
Hey,
It's at the top.
Hey, we still live.
It was a good